Good morning. Welcome to the stream. We're going to have like a more calm one today, okay? Because I think, right, I think people like still inside get a room. It would have been really hard to just equal like I got someone my bed right now. And I was like down. Yeah, I get people. Yes, betcha. I wanted to stream still, so that, but loud. Okay, I'm gonna put some good. I feel morning like that. I said I was going to watch the corners, so I guess we can do that. Because you know, nothing really new. It's been a while. I don't think there's going to be like new stuff. I don't remember watching. I don't remember this. What is it? Simon? And he's like looking at the phone. What? God inside of the phone, shining so much. Here we can see the reflection upon the light into the lens. That signifies the power of the light. That is like a representation on the technological. I have nothing to say. Pre-cracked egg. Save time, no messy ends. I enjoy. Just eat and serve. Finally. Why is the neck like that? Wait, yeah, why is the neck like that? Big. Obvious plant? And it's in the egg section, so I guess it's not like even a toy. I enjoy family. I enjoy great mod players when end is like I don't know what that means. I enjoy. Last time I went into this corner is like joy. The last time I went into the server is like in January. I enjoy. Wait, give me a second. I want to see. Are we famous yet? Are we famous yet? Then we get to like 60 subs and why is Paul McGurney giving me a flower? Get away, old man. 61 subs. We're getting so big. Look, we're making like 1k. This make 1k. And then just a bunch of 200. But for some reason, I got a bunch of sub out of it. So that's good. I just need to put the time of watching my VODs and making clips. Slippers. I don't think slippers. They're anything. Again, last time it was in December. Rock and stone. Up on the Wild West. Okay, this corners are really bad. It's really bad. Well, Vet did show some new stuff. Vet is the real one. Jester, Overnight, and Killswitch. He loves Killswitch actually. He's been showing a lot of Killswitch stuff. Let's listen. Let's see what type of music. I kinda like this album cover. Some TikTok pops. What I called it. TikTok pops. Like emo TikTok pops. It's from the US. That's like a US sound. Kill switch. And like, thanks so much are borrowing on me. Little emo TikTok vibes. That is too cool. That is too cool. That is me. That is me. That's me being fucking sick. Trigger of Love, Johnny. I remember listening to this. I couldn't tell you when, but I remember listening to that. Trigger of Love. It's like some pop. I'm pretty sure it's like some bedroom pop. Honey Pie. That's a popular one. Dude, that's some really old. That is solid. How did he find so much weed? That's crazy. That's a big cat. He playing with the balls. Playing with the ball. Playing with the balls. He's from the US, right? From the US, for sure. 2020, okay, so that's like COVID time. What is he singing about? Oh, it's like these like a relationship, like cinema. Cinema is my relationship. It's like indie pop. Like I feel in the UK with like people like Animal Glass and stuff like that, their sounding was a bit like more played upon. But it's from the US, so it's a bit different. I'll put it alt, which doesn't make so much sense, but which doesn't make sense. I wouldn't put whatever. Categorizing music, it never stops. Never stops. It's categorizing the cultures too, I guess. That's not bad. That's not bad. I know fans of bros. Incel core. Do you remember this guy that killed himself or something? That's not too bad. Incel core. I'm the Alec G and you're not Sarah. That is such a nice name. The more it goes on, the more I love this culture. Like so, whatever emo, TikTok, whatever music. Love this. Let's see if I can find this on. That's a popular one. Like everyone knows that. Live and Die in LA? I think I see it. That's just pop. That's like LA sound. That feels like LA hipsters, you know? Doesn't.
Hey, Park. This your boy.
Tupac isn't there. Is on there.
To your album, and I ain't heard nothing you kick back and smoke a beady to, you know? Yeah, like that. Some of that mellow shit. Some of that shit that make bitches drink. Make niggas think. And help you check a fat ass bank. So won't you
It's like almost like jazz fusion. Like I was seeing that, I was like, that's like.
And plus my second hand say it's midnight. Some Alizé and Cristal guaranteed to get right. Like misdemeanors is a small thing. With DJ Quick in this bitch, I let my balls hang. Running through the street lights. Cause we like, young nigga, get your mob on. Show 'em what a G like. Around the corner, it's like Vegas. Or better yet, like
that's not bad.
niggas poppin', welcome to our
That's not
casino.
bad.
Cause you and me know 100% like casino. Looking for a bitch that's half black and Filipino. And when I meet her, I'm on for some endo. So kissing out the window of a pearl white limo. Don't wanna be your man, I'm your nigga. Touch me here, I'll get bigger while I'm digging. I get deep into your liver. I'm game tight. Love fucking bitches in the same night. My words are aphrodisiacs if you say 'em right. The club ain't poppin', so I'm stopping at the Fat Burger. Look through the paper, it's another black crack murder. The city's full of surprises. You can live or you can die. You can fuck on the first night or try in the late night.
Ooh, I love when they're like doing this stretching sound.
In the late night. In the late night.
Around my way we lamp, many styles get cramp. I clock rocks in the rain till my socks is damp. Ain't nothing like being a thug when I could just sit on the road with death straight knowing that I'm blessed. Hussein fatal, flawless fatality, overdosing on crime, 3 steps from reality. Get up to get down, represent the town. Last night was popping like cock glocks while I
Those are.
Jeez.
Jeez.
It ain't no telling if I wake up in the county in my jail sheets. My intuitions and ambitions up in the
No more swearing. No more swearing, no more content. I don't have to like say anything if there's nothing coming out of me. I can just be it. Panic man.
Like a king, maybe one day until then I'm living Monday through Sunday, bringing the gunplay for all these peace of battles. When we collide, I'ma ride on that high like cattle. Cowards left to skedaddle in the late night.
Jams are blown, niggas and lolos pursuing mo hoes. They go home, the life of a California star. And when you see me in the drop top jag, I'm
Everyone is retired now.
Game is automatic, mandatory. I sail to live and die, survive. But with a story to tell, is when you getting some riches. Watch for dumb bitches that had you labeled a rapist before you get the tongue. It's a mean world, nigga. You strap must be a throwaway. Well, I survived the late night to see though the day.
Forrest did that on in May, so I can keep here. Sim, when was it? That's not too long ago. Slip, horrible slip. The Sim doesn't use that anymore. At least it's there sometimes. I'll keep I still don't know how to use my corners right. I should like use them when like I've got viewers that comes in. Manic Man, Curtis Weathers. That is not the song. I love this TikTok pop like stuff. Like I feel like I didn't get it before, but like now it kinda it's. Overnight too. Dude, look, he's using the same picture as me. Yes. Fuck this cool. Goofy skeleton, that's the other guy. Oh my god, he got so big since the last time I saw this. I'm pretty sure there was like, he was smaller than that. It was like half a billion, and he's dead. Nice, bro. I guess this is rules. Like you put some Dean Blonde there. When is Dean Blum making stuff? Dean Blum is older. Dean Blum was making this sound like 10 years ago. Just crazy to think about. That's like really Dean Blum coded. Big emo vibes. I love this. I don't really play this game that much. I played too much. It's like I don't know why, but like giving to my things the things I'm asking them. Like what you're saying, you're not having water. You're like right beside like your aqueduct. What are you saying? Oh my god, what kind of like thing do we got here? Lockdown nostalgia. A bunch of quarantine songs for when you're sad and need to lock down nostalgia. Lockdown 1. Here, people like, I mean, not my generation, but I guess people that are younger than me, they're getting into like the aesthetics, they're already having like lockdown nostalgia. That's crazy. That's such an idea. It's a bunch of like TikTok songs. I guess, yeah. That's a great look into like a sort of experience, you know, like from younger people. I don't like the word younger, but they're like what, 5 years younger than me? That's not too bad. Like getting 18s now, be a bit old, younger. I'm not having like a nostalgia over like COVID. But like, you know, when it's like you're a bit like younger, so you're like you were at least like what, 12 or something when COVID was there. Like yeah, I could see you getting nostalgic for that. It was like, you know, your kids' years. Crazy. And I don't have flour. Make more. I seem to not be able to produce enough. You know what? These type of songs are the type of songs my friend will enjoy so much now that I think about it. I didn't get his aesthetic about experience, but now that I'm listening to this, it's like it makes sense. Vet has the same. It was like an aesthetic I couldn't like get connected with. Now I get it. I get the experience of the emo like kind of vibe with this, like it didn't Dean Blonde kind of vibe. Uni. I'm gonna show him some Dean Blonde. I think he's going to like Dean Blonde. I don't know what Dean Blunt is. He's going to love this. Are you kidding me? I don't believe he's not going to like this. Dean Blonde has had a lot of things in the 2010s though. But he's from London too. Not even from the US. I cannot put him in the US category. What do you mean? Like a UK dude. That's why he's doing stuff with Panda Bear. I love categorizing my music. It is. Everything is categorized.
Swear, you really understand. We're in the air.
It's too fun.
Like swear.
It's exploring like culture at the same time, you know? It's like being an explorer. You just need to like make it explorable. I don't even know how to call this type of like music. I'll call it like emo indie, but like it doesn't make sense. There's no the thing. You can't name a culture. You cannot like put a label on this shit. It doesn't work. Okay, that's it. Do we have like anything here? I don't have much. I don't wanted to look at that because that seems kind of nice.
I'm gonna get a prototype.
The hardest.
Get II out. Pictures. Footage. Again, it took like 3 seconds. How am I having like an ad already? Dude, how many ads is there? There's no way. Right now, I was kind of going through this thing I found. I need 10 push-ups since I followed full cam. What do you mean 10 push-ups? Where do you find that? Full cam 10 push-ups? Military style? What do you mean 10 push-ups? I can give you 10 push-ups if you want. 10 push-ups. Where did you found this? Okay, I'm going to do my push-ups. Easiest. Are you going to do it with me, or am I getting tortured alone? You know, oh, we can do something better, okay? So when I was a kid, I used to do karate, and they were doing push-ups, but like on the knuckles. That shit was hurting so bad, so I'm going to do that. That's more content on the knuckles, like a cool guy. Okay, ready? I don't know what it's like. Fine, on the knuckles, dude. On the knuckles. Oh, that's so. No. I'm sorry. That is too. You're in the K? What? Yeah, I'm in the K. What are you supposed to say? 5, 4, 5, 6. Hey, that good? Fucking the UK. No, I'm not from the UK. I'm from Canada. I'm French Canadian. But I was listening to some UK stuff. Like, I didn't know Dale Blunt is from the UK. Like, nice. Didn't know. Are you from the UK then? Where are you from? What part of the UK are you from? Fuck the UK. Yeah, fuck stuff like late 6 ads again. That's crazy. There's like so many ads. Never stop. Again. I just had ads. This guy, Subnautica, there's like nothing much else in the corner. Kind of empty. We could like also like go and just explore one little electronic music thing while I'm at it. While I'm at it, we could do that. Huh? What about that? You like electronic music? You say fuck the UK, but the UK has like all this like cool electronic music. They have like almost like a better scene than the US. So usually what I do, I go randomly, but I feel the more it goes on, the more I kind of don't know what's happening. Which one? Like, what do we go just straight up rave? 94. Oh, it sounds so cool, right? What was the difference between rave and like the rest of it? They put rave into the he put rave into the hardcore thing. Also techno rave techno, hardcore techno. Rave was the zeitgeist of everything happening in the early 90s. It caused a generation of teenagers to collectively lose their shit and go shut up and dance. Shut Up and Dance Records, it's actually like a label. It's actually a label they made, Shut Up and Dance. But that's good. And it put a name on those crazy all-night drug-fueled dance-a-thons while causing a moral panic in the both of the USA and the UK. Moral panic. What do you mean? Deviancy amplification spiral? In sociology, a deviant amplification spiral occurs in society or social environment when certain attempts or eradicates slightly deviant or criminal behavior by labeling and shaming it in a way that ultimately serves to further marginalize the people viewed as deviant and cause them. Okay, it's the stigmats. Okay, it's the stigmata. Who made this? Wilkins? I feel I heard some Wilkins. I got like, you know, I'm cool like that. I know my sociology. I think I heard Wilkins. Like a big guy we talk about, but okay, so basically stigmatizing someone makes it deviant, making it deviant makes it more isolated, which makes it more deviant. And I guess rave music was kind of that, which is kind of interesting. The word rave actually predated the music. It had been like in usage since '88 in some place, but when this charging in your face sound become the dominant form of music, he couldn't help but adopt the moniker the parties themselves. Wait, give me a second. I want this song in my playlist. This is kind of nice. Frenetic system, Wayfarer. Even this sounds cool. It couldn't help but adopt the moniker of the parties themselves. It wasn't really hardcore, but it was hardcore compared to what came before it. Could argue that this is all because of the massive hit, the KLFF What Time Is Love. Leah live at Tres Central. Let's see. That's supposed to be like the big banger of the rave culture. Yeah, I guess if you're going to like dislike a thing, making it bigger. And I suppose like you could say that even like in today's culture, the political division kind of comes from that. Stigmatize like people, you cut them off from the bridges to connect with them. They just become more radicalized. Where they from? That's in UK. That's like hip hop, dude. What? Dude, that goes so hard.
What time is love? What time is love?
90s. That's early rap too. Oh, this goes over. That's the thing with electronic music. It's like really close to hip hop for some reason. They kind of happen at the same time, and probably because the both of the scenes were underground, they were kind of like intertwined. None of the ways. Like I was talking to my mom that like it used to be like a bit more into those culture before, and like the thing that I learned is that usually when they were playing music, I think in Montreal, I don't know like if it was like that like in other places, but it was really like separated. There was like 2 floors, 2 rooms. One was playing like early hip hop, and the other one was playing like rave music or electronics. So you see, just like you had like this merge of things. And then after a while, the internet came in, so I'm pretty sure like that made something too for the dialogue between. That's a banger. That's a big banger. I remember like seeing the KLF without real understanding. But with this here, banger, really big banger. I sound this monstrous was inevitable. It does really sounds like nothing else. When truth is sound this monstrous was inevitable, it could have happened without the KLF. It combined thumping techno beats, sirens, whistle, lead vocals, charging guitars, gang shouting, vertigo inducing, strobe lights, go-go dancer. That's the thing too, is like I feel you hear the music, but like with most culture, maybe less today, even then, you always like have an aesthetic of the experience around like a certain sound. But like with electronic music, especially rave music, you had like the scene at the same time. You had the stance, you had like the sort of like place you had like the what was the type of people too that were like feeding into the collective aesthetic of their sound and the groups and the culture, you know? Let's say strobe light, go-go dancers, and of course the lovable Hoovers and sound effect named after the vacuum cleaner. they named one of the weird sound as a vacuum cleaner. That's so funny. That legend's purpose was found as a preset patch on the Roland Alpha Juno synthesizer label. What the? That sounds so cool. No, that's sick. Here a second, I want this song too. I don't know if it's. There's also like a thing about like these things that a bit like hip hop. I wouldn't say about hip hop, but like I don't know how much it was the same way. But you didn't have bands or whatever. You had DJs. That's like a. They don't call it bands or musicians. They were DJs. That's like another type of like vibes to like your live music. You know? But most importantly, Rave gave us the delicious pop accessible sing-along anthems that the mainstream could stick into. And oh yeah, that too. Like even my mom was talking about it. After a while, you just had too many like normies getting into the scene that kind of made the club thing a bit too like corporate. But there was a thing about like this sound being like so precious that it was like too easy to twist it into like a more mainstream form. After this point, there was no going back. Electro music became addicted to its own success, and all popular electronic music thereafter relied on anthems for commercial MPs. Sound excruciating excess. What? Herman Trance? Yeah, I feel like that's the thing that I could have been cool with the side. I don't know how you could have done that. Let's be fair here. Like the popularity of like a genre. Like how many people were there into the genre. Some things are like really niche. You know what I'm saying? There's not a lot of things. You can see the more amount of songs. But like success as a scene or something would have been cool. Because I feel like Rave was. And now it becomes like its own thing. Right? This is the music of Two Eliminated. This is the music of Mortal Kombat. This is the music of Don Cherry's Rocks and Don Cherry's Rock Them Sock Em Hockey Volume 5. There's also this thing, like for some reason. Okay, we saw this before. The techno version, yeah, this awesome slice of history. We saw this before. Please load.
It's Tenardi's turn to get Kruzelinski. Denning and Tenardi collide. Fury gets pushed down by.
I don't know how to say, but the sport culture merging with like these subculture. Tim Arnold's, dude, Canada. I don't know how to do this, bro. Did we? Maybe I read that before. I don't even remember. I read Rave before. I don't even remember. Whatever. Rave anthems reflected on the out-of-body zazziness of the outdoor rave experience. Not since Iron Maiden had any music caused an entire audience to enthusiastically go out of their minds and first bump. It was audio pending. It's also the music that Henry Rollins infamously lambasted in one of his spoken word spectacle 15 years later, which is topical enough to be relevant to his audience in much the same way a comedian AP Vietnam music. They weren't from the same scene. You couldn't get it. You couldn't get it. It wasn't there. He was seeing this from a distance. He decided to do a critique. He didn't get it. He didn't get it, dude. The absolute pinnacle of Rave is Psychosonic, a self-titled smash debut album that put everything that was happening in Belgium in the early 90s in one smoking package. Oh, that is so cool. That is so cool, actually. Is it on Spotify? All the 90s Belgian music. Because I think it's European. Oh, it is. It is. Oh, it is. It's like the Matrix. Welcome to my mind. There's a sport element now that I hear this like weird like it, like I don't know what to call these like sounds. It's like almost industrial too. Yeah, I don't know why about like rave that like there's a sport element to this. Like sport culture adjacent. Like they made hockey, but now when I think about it, I don't know how to really say. Like even in hardcore, some bands were like hockey themed. Like in Boston, there was like Slapshot that was like hockey themed. So there was a thing probably about something here. That's like almost industrial. That's like almost industrial to be fair. The album is equal part EBM, new beat, rock, rave, techno. No industrial in there. I pass filters on vocals and everything in between. And he's utterly glorious for that stupid fact alone. You'll never find a better fusion album of an entire generation zeitgeist to watch in BMA. Oh, look at this graphics. Look at this cool ass things. Early 3Ds. The visual seems to be sending a statement to either Peter Gabriel or Bill Nye, I can tell which. Dude, that's so cool.
Welcome into Dreamworld Center, genius. I'm no fault pretender. Fractals, fusion, brain diffuse. Drink your smart drug, find illusion. Fly the air on an angel's dare. And the roads fly everywhere. Endless spaces, billion places. Living in a world of solid places. Drive your mind down.
What is this? Welcome to my mind. Yeah, okay, as for rave, too much was happening in the early 90s for sustainability. There were hardcore and jungle scenes to invent, and that is where it all went ish. I mean, I don't know, like it depends on how you see it. I feel like rave also like it just becomes way more like popular music. Like all this pop thing that came a bit later, I feel like there were big inspiration from that scene. But sometimes I don't know where you see he make rave music stop at 90s 5 for some reason. For him, it's like it just like stopped there. I don't know. Yeah. For him, the culture died after that. It just became something else. Became jungle and then hardcore. But for me, like it's like you hear like a lot of like stuff like maybe it's a bit later like Backstreet Boys. I don't know, it's a bit too. For me, it's like there was like a thing about that culture that became really mainstream. Syllable. I don't know if that's. Yeah, that was really fun. I love my rave music. I love this shit so much. Are we now playing some games? Are we going for Subnautica? How are we doing, looking more? Can we like do a little deep dive into your profile? Let's see. You're on the spot, buddy. Let's see what you have. Let's see what type of person are you. Let's meet each other. You streamed before. You got a bunch of followers. There's nothing much to see from your profile. Okay, I think I'm ready for some hi. Yeah, gaming time. Gaming time, and I'm going to wait for Nick if I'm going to do the icebergs. I feel with Nick is more fun. Okay, Subnautica. Of the sea. Ba 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 ba. Exit. Yes, I want to exit. Here. Okay, Subnautica. Why is he mad? That is the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Like people are so like once they have like a platform, I feel they're so dumb. Like, I get paid to retro music. I listen to it and give my opinion. You don't. I don't even get paid to do this. You're getting mad for free or something that doesn't even involve you. Like, that's the most, like, privileged shit you could ever say. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing against the guy, nothing against the viewer, but like sometimes it feels like are they not like, do they don't know that's a troll? Like, do they do that on purpose? And also, like, such a small thing. Do these people really get mad as much as over small things? That's so silly. That's so silly. Like, who cares? Let people have their own opinion too. Who cares? He's trolling. It's like, I feel if maybe I'm saying that and like I wouldn't be able to do it too. I wouldn't get like triggered. But it feels silly. It feels silly. Silly, willy, feely, dewy, beady. Gooey? What is this guy saying? So random, dude. What is he saying? Subnautica, please. Get me in the game. Get me in the game. Why do I have, there's always a way? It's dinosaurs in Minecraft like, talking about Jesus.
I have to remind myself, no, that's literally impossible. The Bible says that
No temptation has overtaken you except it is common mankind and God is faithful. Why are they dinosaurs? Why? Is there a thing I didn't understand about Catholicism and Catholics? They're like autistic coded. Maybe. You know what? There's like so many lore. So many lore in the Catholic canon. And I could see why. It's like embedded into philosophy too. Yeah, no, makes sense. Makes sense. There's a tism. PSA. Okay. There's also the unflexibility. I'm sorry. No hate, okay? No hate. Wow, I'm back into the beautiful game. Okay, so a bunch of things. I think there's my base. There's a black box I need to go. There's a welcome center I don't remember, but I need to open up the forum. I was trying to get some stuff here. First thing first, why is it so low? Settings. Get this bad boy up. Storage. Beep beep boop beep beep. Get everything. There's nothing here. Goodbye, base. I would never need you again. Custom pioneer? Okay, no. That's the only base I'm going to live on.
Power connected. All systems online.
That's the thing. When night comes, I don't have energy anymore.
Welcome aboard.
So that's a Van Gogh painting. I bought it with all the money I got to get to this island, get away from the city. That's how it works. That's a corridor. It's supposed to represent something. Beep, 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 beep. Okay, let's open the storage. Let's make a bunch of the thing I need, which is the biolab. The thing with the biolab is that where can I put it? Can I even put it? Dude, I'm supposed to have like this space. Are you kidding? I don't. Can it be placed on this surface? What do you mean? There's like clearly space. Okay, the video game actually hates me. The video game actually hates my guts. He actually hates me like so bad. You know who doesn't hate me? This guy. I can't even put him. I can't even put my. God damn it. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. There's no problem with that. We just need some new stuff. Okay, we need new scanners because we need to be able to craft more stuff. I thought I was able to make the thing I wish I could have made, but no, I can't. 2 bottles of water seems to be enough. I'm going to cook this, make this there, get 1 first aid kit. I'm going to use it right now. Cook some great food. There we go, we have everything now. Can't go Nick inspiration. Goodbye, beautiful world. I'll see you another time. I think an easy mark we could do is just straight up just go to the black box there. Oh, give me a second. My I can't put it there. And also I didn't know, but the air blader is actually a thing you can use easily. Like it's not like a one-time use. You can reuse it a lot of times. I didn't know. I thought it was like a one save thing. It's like you're going to die, you just use it quickly, but you can reuse it like quite a lot. You see? Whee! Ascend. Whee! And you go back down. How great is that? How good is that? Bunch of fishes. Bunch of things to scan here. I don't want to take too much stuff in my inventory, because I feel there's going to be like more stuff like cool to get. This explodes. That's to eat myself now. Not eat myself. I'm going to get better guts. Better guts bacterias. Can. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Quick! Ascend! Go back down. Okay. Salvage is pretty cool. We're going to pick that up. And we're going to see what I can scan here.
Field notes.
Okay, free Wikipedia things. Is there anything else I can like scan?
My reprint site is Habitat.
Free food! Free food that was there for I don't know how long.
What if you just reprinted yourself when you were tired? Maybe you'd never have to sleep. Mr. Hema, I'm sure
Can I put the
There's a mass trapped inside. The scanner's not sure if it's
what am I trying to say? Can I get there's too much stuff going on. This guy talking to me, I'm not listening to him. I've got the box. Can I put the box in my inventory? That's what I was trying to get. I was liking here. Can he shut up? Can he shut up, please? Oh, he keeps talking. He keeps tapping. He keeps tapping. Can I put this inside of my base? Yeah, I can. Let's put it there. Here we go. Now, let's go for real now. No more kidding, no more going back for a box. We don't need that much. Let's go to the big plant so I can eat fish. Get new God's bacteria. Guy. Telling you. Going to the Wikipedia. You've been collected. You're now collected. Everything is going to be collected. Everything is going to go into my encyclopedia. Fine. That's a pretty thing. Can I scan it? No. How about here? No. What about this?
Oxygen.
Oxygen? Oh. You're the oxygen, dude. God, that is so useful. That is so useful now. I can like use that like oh.
Potential donor found.
What the hell is that?
Organism from the sleep bay.
Don't touch him. Do not go close to him. Scan this. Beep beep boop beep beep boop beep 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 beep.
This life form is a biological.
Touch it. You see something weird that looks like that? Just try to touch it. You'll get free powers.
Digest freely.
Sure. Scan rock board. What's doing this weird sound? That's a good sound for make rave music.
I can hear you.
Bean radio?
People, 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 virus, but I know.
People, people, people. No, get out, get out. I'm friendly. Get out.
Food all around. Will you help?
Yeah, yeah.
Will I feed you? Will you feed us?
Going to die.
This is my body given for you.
Whoa! Whoa! What's it? What? There's too much stuff happening. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Can I explore now? Can I explore the surrounding? Can I see like what's around I can get? What is this? Angel comb? Is there anything cool that I miss here? Yeah, scan everything. Anita, who's Anita?
Oxygen.
Whee! Let's see what these creatures are. They look so cool. They just like fly around. They're like big. Like I don't know what, but I like them a lot. They're my favorite animal now.
Seawater sampling detects a source
I want to see that guy.
adaptations in this region.
Hello, mister.
Tracking a bloom of viral activity at the same source.
These dark creatures, they're like whales, okay? They're like secretly, you don't know, but they're like super smart and they have like so much wisdom that we cannot comprehend. Whoa.
Caution. You have entered a viral bloom. All other microbial life in the seawater is dead.
What do you mean Seawater is dead? I'm seeing this guy.
The scans and return with appropriate treatment.
Ice scene. Beautiful. So everything here is supposed to be dead. That seems pretty alive to me.
Viral attack. Deploy flares and withdraw.
What? What is he saying? Parasite? Oh, what the fuck is that? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the? Okay, I'm not kidding with these guys. I'm not going to like pretend I'm better than these guys. They make pretty sounds too. This guy again. Oh, get out! Get out! You're so annoying. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Go away. Okay. Rubber? Or rubber? 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 Again? Dying?
Oxygen.
Yeah, I kinda have to go back to my base. I've explored enough, now we need to go there. What is these things? Hello, Mr. Fish? Seem to Mango. Why do you name Mango? Bunch of stuff here. They're the water world. Welcome center. I need to like do something there. I think I need to bring some of these like. That's how it works. Hook that bitch up. Okay, well, I still don't know like what do I do now? I need like new stuff. I don't have strong acid because I don't have the thing to make strong acid yet. I don't know where to find silver. I'm kind of at a point I think I need to or I don't even have enough like base to go around. How do I deconstruct something? No, I don't need that much. Because at first I was like, what is this? Why are you? What did you appear out of nowhere? Enter mode, open storage. Oh, I don't have space. Okay, they just create storage when I do.
Welcome aboard.
Don't wake up aboard me. Person you could. Just a bit of titanium so I can make an energy thing at the other place. I think it works that way. That should be enough. Right? Yeah, that should be enough. Go. Let's go back to the welcome center. Oh, my I don't know why. When I stream, my neck just hurts. Never does that when I don't stream. It's only when I stream. I don't know if because I keep looking at my either screen or I keep moving around. It's annoying. Okay, so the goal here is to make solar panels, so this thing is going to get invented. I guess? Maybe it wasn't that? Because this thing doesn't work. No power. Recurves battery. How did I never seen that before? How did I never realize I had to like put a battery in there? Am I that dumb? Yes. Whee! Clear the dolphin. Ah. I think I go faster doing that too. Batteries.
Welcome aboard.
So annoying. Each time I'm going to enter, it's going to say welcome aboard. Here we go. Now we need to leave. Is there a way to select? How can I talk to the AI here? AI, please shut the frick up, bro. Where's the base? Here. Welcome. I actually don't know if it's like faster to do that. I'm curious to see what are those things there. Like big spikes, they're not corals. There are corals, but they're not the same type of like orange corals. Now I've got batteries. Okay, I should be able to power up this up. There we go.
Systems online.
Hello.
Welcome back, Pioneer. I'm Sophie Boucher, Coral Sergeant. By now you know we're not on the Torah. We call this planet Proteus. We don't know when rescue will find us. For the sake of all our sleeping friends, we have to learn how to survive. Layla? Hey, nobody survived, Pat. But don't let that beauty people may tell you it's a gift.
Welcome to the center. More Wikipedia than my trove.
You remember what Kara did to our homes.
Give me, oh, give me that. Give me the dash. Passive biomods. Oh, ocean control, sea skimmer. Swim faster when close underwater surface to the seafloor or the seafloor. When not moving, do not consume oxygen. Which one do I prefer? Fast or oxygen? I think I'm going to take oxygen. Yeah. Because like now I can just go here and wait for oxygen if I need it. See? Okay, is there anything here I could have scanned? I didn't see. Here we go. See, scan display tank. That is the thing I want to have in my thing.
This was broken by a survival multi-tool. Sabotage is a serious crime.
Scans.
The IU's bombing of Altera Labs delayed critical Kara research by decades.
Dining table. No, nothing here. Nothing here. Nothing here to scan. Maybe like, does this really matter? Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like going faster can be like, see now if I can like do sprints, kind of cool. You see? What's around here? Beacon.
Are you tired of death and fear?
Are you tired of death and fear? No. I kinda don't care.
Do you feel the call of the tree? Do you know the day of the Jubilee is coming?
The day of the Jubilee? You're just psychotic now.
Our lives. Find us at Camp 1.
Literally just a fish on the ground. You can never like stop me. See, I could never be a fish on the ground. But I'm just a fish on the ground. But can I scan here? There's something in there. There must be like something in there. Okay. pretty tight.
Oxygen.
Oh, you see now it's like so easier to like move around. My scanner is almost dead. I don't know how to like make it better. I suppose I'll just have to build another one. My inventory is full. Oh. Okay. Well, let's go back to the base. There's nothing much to do here. Pond crab! You seem— oh, you look so cool, dude. Get in my inventory right now.
Oxygen.
Dude, they look so cool. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him. How do I get con crabs in my base? I just want them. I just want a lot of con crabs. Sick. Whee!
Welcome aboard.
Okay, I've got still enough like power here. Okay. Got so much distraction flare, which just really— yeah, more exploration, nothing else to do. I'll just have to make a new scanner soon, so I'm just going to build one, I think, right now. Get a battery. Any more copper? Well, I'll try to get like more copper. Never have enough copper. Do I have food? I have food, I have water. Maybe get one more water bottle, just in case. Okay, let's go. So, is there like any point I need to go to? Doesn't seem to be anything here. Lifebot, but there's nothing there. All my logs. Is there anything? Singles, lifebot, welcomes, and like box? No, should be fine. Okay, let's just go somewhere.
The Noetic advisor has transmitted an alert. Return to the life pod at your convenience.
See? I was starting to leave and they're giving me something now. Okay. Where's the life pod? Can I scan my own base? What do you want? What do you want?
Another black box. Check.
What do you want? Oh, another black box. Well, not much to do. Let's go there. Maybe explore that thing. Like, what is that? Are all the world always the same? You always spawn in the same place? Can I do something here? Hurts me. Okay. Crabs! They look awesome, dude. Oh, whoa, it's so big. Requires unknown tool. We were actually here like not long time ago. That's so pretty. There? Is this thing— what is this? Wait, sorry, what was where was the thing there? There's a little bit there. I'm hearing it. Oh, it's down there. Okay, I see it. It's down there. Wait, that moves. Oh, what is this? Is it going to hurt me if I try to scan it because it's so cool? Giant crabs. Coral crab. Awesome, dude. Yup. Boom. Let's go to the black box. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. The eye protecting that I don't like. What is this? A lot of titanium. I suppose that's titanium. That's copper. Nice. Is there anything around I could have scanned? Maybe the copper. There's still air in this? How is this still intact? But not this. Everything is intact but this.
My mouth is full of holes.
Prepare tool.
Turning on the nitrogen. Deep breath. You have a brand new body.
Biofed. Biobed.
Be a little stronger.
I guess it's to skip the night.
The biobed's got you.
Until it all
Fan floor
happens
locker.
again.
That's a better look they have.
What the mace field.
Bioreactor.
This planet is poison.
If this works, we can slow down the syndrome
Stool.
by depleting our bodies.
Alien.
Find a cure.
What if there is no cure?
Chap. Sweetie, don't be scared.
There's no cure? Well, just
No, I'll
accept
find
your
a way.
faith.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Can I use the biofilm? Load?
Endurance upgraded. Inventory expanded.
Battery expanded? What did I do? And I made 2 scanners that I don't need because I thought I needed like another. My inventory is like upgraded by 3 slots. Okay. And I need batteries. How do I charge batteries? I suppose that there's going to be a thing I can change. Oh, silver! Oh, I didn't even see that silver. I can't like get it yet. Like this thing. Too big. But there's silver. Can I get more? Salt. Like for food? Or salt. Well, at least now I know there's like silver like up here. Don't take too much titanium because I feel I'm going to. What is this? Frog? Sulfur. Anything else? Killing something? Like digging.
Oxygen.
Okay, those big like stalactites or whatever, they're going to like show me where things are. Cool. Stop with it.
Oxygen.
Okay, let's see. I still haven't unlocked like big rooms.
Welcome aboard.
Biofield blocks. Okay. Well, I guess now the goal is going to go back there and find some silver. That seems pretty obvious to me. Got some solid copper. We got axle, cool, or lockers, which is what we need. There's items, there's items. Okay, everything is. We need to just like get empty all these like things. This is empty already. There's items, there's no, okay, there's 3 items. Come on, give me my tool. There we go. Put the floor. The locker, it's so small. Can it, this base is too small. It's kind of annoying, actually. Like what? Wrong side. There's not enough space. There's not enough space. It works. That's the important, right? If it works, there's nothing to worry about. Okay, let's get some silver. That's it. This game is just like go grind, go mine. Survival games, right? Food, I can keep it here. I shouldn't need more batteries. I don't think so. Are there any signals around? No, I don't think so. I think they're going to tell me something here. Nothing new. Okay, well, let's go back to where the big stalactites were. Right over there. Because we need some silver to upgrade our suits. That seems to be the thing that is good. Just gather up some resources.
Oxygen.
Crab seems pretty fine. He seems like a pretty chill guy to hang out with. There, I don't know what that is. Battery, yeah. Things, random shit. More random shit. Stuff I meant. Bad guys.
Oxygen. Heat level beyond tolerable threshold. Recommend adapt. Heat warning.
Heat warning? How did it get like so warm just like out of the sun and out of nowhere? What? I need to go into the caves. I'm not sure if there was like a path to go like deeper here. Titanium, upper water slug. No, I don't think there was like anything else here. Yeah, doesn't seem to like have anything here. Is there any other caves? Let's see. What's this thing? Hello, mister? Oh, it's a water slug. It's just like, just his head. There's stuff here to collect. Quartz, salt, titanium. Bit. There's nothing to scan here, I'm going to be pissed. Ooh, scan dive elevator. Okay. Big data, what is this? Nuke unlocked, but free shit? Okay. Big breeder. Epic music unlocked it? Is there anything else around? Okay. Careful with them, I don't want to get too close. Maybe no cam. Yeah, fuck it, no cam. Subnautica full immersion. 3D equality. That's silver, but I cannot think. I have no other tool. Structure there. Oh, yeah, that seems like a jackpot. That seems the goal here.
Oxygen.
Why did Ob stop dancing? Never stop. You dance until you die. Dance. Copper there, okay, big copper. Whoa, look at this rock things, how they formed. Okay, let's see. I have like a part of the ship here. Is there anything I can like explore? No.
Oxygen.
Then it just drops. Like, look how deep it drops. A door here. Can it open? No. First slug that's like.
Oxygen.
Ooh, that was close. How long have I been streaming for? 1 hour 30. I might stop soon. What time is it? 11:32. Yeah. Good cave right there. Maybe we'll find some silver. I didn't really enter this. Dave, there was nothing in there. Wow. What grade is that? I know I saw like another structure like around over here. We'll try to see that. Nail? What do you mean? Oh, I can get, okay, either like I use it to like get to the surface or I get a free puff of air. Okay, I see. That's a good, nice. That's a good thing. Yeah, I went here? I think that's a weird base there. Went here, I already scanned some stuff. Can't dive elevator. Oh, what is that?
Oxygen. The Noetic advisor has transmitted an alert. Return to the life pod at your convenience.
Why do I need to go back to my life pod?
Welcome aboard.
System chip. Well, fiber mesh. I still cannot do fiber mesh because I need strong acid, which I don't have the yet for. That. Yeah, unlock anything. That's the thing. That's a bio lab. For some reason, it doesn't let me like do it. Maybe if I do a nuke, I should be better off by that. What is a nuke? It's going to give me more space. Wait. Look how big is that? Nuke. Yeah, I need to do something. Then you do a nuke. Yeah, that's your room. I don't have rooms yet. I'm too broke. Field lab is obstructed. Can I get rid of this? How do I get rid of this? Can I get rid of this?
Oxygen.
I build my base like the wrong spot. Oh, whoa, wait. Grenade is obstructed. Road corridor. I chose the worst space to like do something. I might have to like change my base place.
Welcome aboard.
Oh, it's so annoying. I'll have to do that actually. Build it here instead. So we have like some leverage to build. God damn it, and I don't have titanium.
Welcome aboard.
Yep. No space to be had. And for some reason, I don't have quartz anymore. I don't have quartz to make like glass. Let's rebuild our thing. can put it like really high too, actually. Which I didn't do before.
Warning. Power offline.
In power offline. Your bomb is offline. Road corridor.
Power connected. All systems online. Warning.
Okay.
Power offline.
Attached corridor. And not enough titanium.
Power connected. All systems online. Warning. Power offline.
It's so annoying. Is it going to say that each time I'm going to like enter the base here? Yeah? Make a nuke somewhere? I think so. 8 quartz, fuck.
Power connected. All systems online.
Quartz! Well, I guess I'm not leaving soon. I'm not leaving the game soon. But I can put some music. Some jungle beats. Ugh. Ooh, that seems so good. Interviewing ICE agents. Oh my god. This guy's doing cool works. Do we try to watch a video? I'm going to watch it like anyway, so let's see. Oh, that's the wrong guy. That's the wrong guy. Wrong guy. Wrong guy. Okay, let's just. Work. That's for alerts. Let's play. Alerts, chat, song, game. Verify some. No, my face, that's me. I've got a bunch of things that doesn't make sense in my sources. Like there's like so much like nothing. Like pizza. What is pizza? It's like it's for one game. That maybe that makes me lag. Like I've got so many game capture like stuff for some reason. I'm cleaning my alt corner. What is this? Nothing. I don't know why all that's. Let's try this thing. I hope it's up. It might not be up, actually. It might just be like on this Patreon or something. You can. Okay, let's try. Let's get this here. That's a full screen. It's going to take a full screen. Window capture. There we go. There we go, that's what I meant. Okay. And then I want to see if the video is up. I want to see like what the ICE agent has to say. It is 30 minutes ago. The algorithm is not giving it to me.
The way you see an idea in your mind.
I'm gonna try to cut the thing for you.
Describe it to a friend.
Don't see the shitty like skin.
Is how website creation should be. Expression as natural as thinking. Let it out. Shape it into something that could only come from you.
AI. That's how I use my AI. That only comes from me.
Just by saying it.
Just by saying it.
Every detail is
I love how they sell AI, which is crazy.
There's no line between what you imagine.
Take this one and put it right here. Let's add some color and make it more cartoony.
And what you can do.
Ooh, it's so cool.
This is the new way to create. Wix Harmony.
Wix your mom.
Alex Freddy, when he was shot, his hands were on the ground. He did not have a firearm in his hand. Border Patrol should not have been there. Border Patrol should be patrolling the border.
I feel like our administration wanted this type of escalation. I don't think Renee Good deserved to be killed. We sometimes feel like they're waiting for one of us to be shot and killed.
What did you think about the Alex Preddy shooting?
That one was also particularly traumatic.
Was Renee Good a criminal? No. Was she acting like a bitch? Yeah.
How do you feel about the phrase ICE?
I try not to take it personally.
All your homophobia, all your racism, all your transphobia, all your xenophobia. Everyone go yourself.
Yo, family, your kids, nigga. That's how it is. I can't sleep comfortably because of you.
I just feel like we've been in the pocket of the administration, kind of doing their bidding and wrapping up as many people as possible.
We've been mislabeled as Nazis, homophobes, as racist in law enforcement. That's just not true.
They're doing exactly what the Gestapo did back in the Nazi regime.
We are not deportation officers, and we are not people who go out and grab people, round them up, and then deport them. That is not what we do.
Unnecessary violence has been happening since the Metro surges began, and HSI had to back up investigations of assaults against officers where there was no assault, and they started it.
So you think there's a critical misunderstanding on behalf of the public as to what ICE actually is?
I think so. We have child exploitation, which is a huge component of what we do.
They're kidnapping kids, buying and selling kids, bribing officials, killing people, all for the purpose of exploiting underage kids.
The internet has opened some doors for the world. Watching the Artemis mission live, coolest shit ever. Knowing that you can just jump on the internet and meet with a child and them terrible.
Since Trump got into office, there's been 33% less federal agent hours spent pursuing child predators than there was beforehand. Have there been child exploitation?
Yeah, I don't think it works. I think there's like too many stuff. Like, and then commentate, play a game. It's like way too much. My brain is not able to like juggle everything like that. Plus my phone, plus the bitches. That's a joke, dude. I'm going to get another coffee. Not because I'm tired, but because I need something to stimulate myself and my Okay. Okay. And the thing with any information is that you're going to learn way more about the information if you're going to put all your attention to the thing you're trying to learn or like understand or get time on. But that's the thing. If I play a game at the same time as streaming, at the same time as listening to this, at the same time as trying to talk in English, it's like a lot. But I suppose I could try to get more mediocrity down our time. You know, that's the thing too. I feel like everything here is like kind of. I feel streaming as a thing is mediocre. You want to see Twitter? You want to see my Twitter? Do we get porn? Sakura said she used to think proposals were always a huge surprise until she got older. When I get married, my husband is not getting the wrong. I'm not being somebody that doesn't know exactly what ringing. That's supposed to be. This guy vibe coded a website where anyone on the internet can feed his cat. You go to the website, he become rich. Hassan fan sends him some little wild bass love memes, including one of the Trump in the. Okay.
Cases that have been basically thrown out.
Like I want to take notes. Let's open Paint. I want to like point out some stuff they're going to say, because these guys are like kind of stuck into like a structure that kind of make domination happens. Like, of course, it's one thing that the public seems to like see them as something, but at the same time, it's another of like how they're going to rationalize they reproduce. We'll still try to like have fun, try to get some notes out.
As a result of moving HSI manpower over to places like Minneapolis to enforce immigration?
There have absolutely been leads that have been uninvestigated or closed out prematurely because we don't have the manpower or the priority to focus on that.
The immigration enforcement and now our criminal enforcement, that's all merged. It makes our job a lot more difficult.
It definitely feels like my purpose has been destroyed. I have no doubt that the American people have lost their faith in us. I lost our faith in us.
You got fired from ICE for something you said about Israel. What was the process like?
No grant rights were read. They didn't ask me about my side of events. They're just like, you're being terminated for misconduct, which is weird to me because being a cop from other agencies, usually IA is supposed to like take a sworn statement from you regardless of whether or not you're being fired.
Do you think race played a role in you actually getting fired and singled out?
I'm pretty positive because I've seen officers commit actual misconduct on camera, say things they're not supposed to, and they didn't get fired or written up.
The termination letter quotes, "I knew my girl was the one when she said she hated Jews in Israel."
Yeah.
So you never sent anything remotely.
No, that was a different officer that said that.
What's up, guys? Andrew Callahan here, Channel 5 News.
Like again, I was like, my head, you know, there's like limited cognitive like juggling here. Okay, like I want to be able to play like Subnautica as like doesn't ask too much and think about the game at the same time, like really take the time to see what they're saying. Watching it is another thing. If you're watching, it's more fun. But beforehand, you know.
Have there been child exploitation cases that have been basically thrown out?
So I'm going to pause way more, I think, at the game.
Result of moving HSI manpower over to places like Minneapolis to enforce immigration?
There have absolutely been leads that have been uninvestigated or closed out prematurely because we don't have the manpower or the priority to focus on that.
The immigration enforcement and now our criminal enforcement, that's all merged. It makes our job a lot more difficult.
That's the thing too. Like I think as an institution, it shows like the priority of like the institution itself. Like of course, when you have like an institution that's supposed to like enforce the law, you're going to like give them priorities. Like if you have like a bunch of guys, you need to organize. You need to say what's important. Because child trafficking is better than illegal immigrants. I feel now with like the Trump administration, the priorities have kind of moved away from the institution has moved its sensibilities to other teams that beforehand probably a lot of ICE agents were working on other stuff, and now they're kind of just dealing with stuff like illegal immigrants, you know.
Difficult.
It definitely feels like.
And sometimes there's a the way of like changing the sensibilities of place also makes for, how can I say that? It blocked in me.
Like, my purpose has been destroyed. I have no doubt that the American people have lost their faith in us. I lost our faith in us.
You got fired from ICE for something you said about Israel.
I think that's the thing. The institution itself of ICE has changed. The sensibilities over like how they operate. Can I get a arrow here, please? The institution itself, that is ICE, has changed its sensibilities. So now, the way the workers are going to work inside of the ICE, the workforce, you know, the police, now they're going to have new priorities, new sensibilities over what it means to be an officer. And in that sense too, there's like a new, how can I don't like the word task, but new, the frame of your work has also evolved through that. Like new frame of working, let's say, of working. I feel the way they use now the illegal immigrants and how they use the media to portray themselves, and how as a mediatic thing they portray themselves, kind of shows like that frame of change, you know. Still the USA, but I feel when they made mistakes, they really were now that it's fine to make mistakes. You know, Trump said a bunch of things. Oh, they're good officers. They were just a mistake, or it was part of the plan, or something like that. The frame of work legitimize new way to enforce law, let's say.
Israel. What was the process like?
No rights were read. They didn't ask me about my side of events. They're just like, you're being terminated for misconduct.
And again, like I feel like inside of that institutions, in today's world, it's like some institutions ask for like a certain like political agenda, you know what I'm saying? If you're going to join a certain institution, you kind of have to like go along the political, not lies, but things they're saying. For example, that guy that's like pro Palestine, the way I don't know about this guy, but like he seems to be able to you know, kind of like be political inside of the institution itself.
Which is weird to me.
Which I'm not sure what to say about that. I feel like I'm throwing a bunch of stuff that can be really way that is not what I'm trying to say.
Potential to automate.
Fucking NVIDIA is happy or something.
As being a cop from other agencies, usually IA is supposed to like take a sworn statement from you regardless of whether or not you're being fired.
Do you think race played a role in you actually getting fired and singled out?
I'm pretty positive because I've seen officers commit actual misconduct on camera, say things they're not supposed to, and they didn't get fired or written up.
The termination...
You see now that they're able, like, there's a new frame of working, how they do this. Illegitimate new ways to enforce the law, or how to tackle, let's call them mistakes.
Letter quotes, I knew...
They have a new definition of what there's a new definition upon what is right to do as a police officer and what is not. You know, they move the sensibilities.
I knew my girl was the one when she said she hated Jews in Israel.
Yeah.
So you never sent anything remotely.
No, that was a different officer that said that.
What's up, guys? Andrew Callahan here, Channel.
And they just say, oh, you're the guy that said that thing. They don't even care.
We got a pretty hot one coming down the pipeline today. It's officially been about 4 months since Operation Metro Surge wrapped up in Minneapolis, Minnesota. During the operation, nearly 4,000 people were arrested and 2 people were killed by either DHS, Border Patrol, or ICE agents. Metro Surge was likely carried out to make good on Trump's second-term campaign promise of mass deportations and likely to appease his campaign donors over at CoreCivic and Geo Group, who are yielding astronomical profits as we speak from private detention contracts and have a vested interest in filling as many beds as humanly possible at all times. And with how fast things move in the news cycle nowadays, it's hard for the operation to not feel like ancient history. If you can recall, last February, we were on the 1-yard line of a watershed Epstein moment that threatened to expose the inner workings of an elite circle of pedophile billionaires at the very top, who many suggest control our media and politicians through coercive blackmail. But then, Brene Good and Alex Preddy were killed. Operation Metro Surge wrapped up. Then Then we had the war in Iran, the kidnapping of President Maduro in Venezuela, perhaps the upcoming invasion of Cuba, the new season of Euphoria, and an endless array of meaningless cultural war issues sprinkled on top of it all by the mainstream press to keep us divided, distracted.
Yeah, distracted. I mean, that's just politics. They're just trying to get red herrings out so we don't watch the things they don't want us to watch. No, think about the culture war. How do we get the war? No, don't think about how Epstein was a thing. And you know, there's a thing about, like, if they're willing to go that far, you know, they're fucked, dude.
Docile and drowning in dog shit. But what happened back in Metro Surge is important. It represents a massive waste of taxpayer money and federal resources. Minneapolis is not in a better place than it was before Metro Surge. In fact, it's in a worse place. DHS's shenanigans in Minnesota over the winter cost the city of Minneapolis approximately $200 million in losses, $5 million in police overtime hours, $81 million in lost revenue for local businesses, and workers lost over $47 million in wages. For a look back, here was the scene on the ground less than 2 days after the killing of Renee Good.
If you're scared to come outside, what are you waiting for next? American citizens are being shot in the street. This administration is not following court orders. They're sending citizens out of the country. Are you waiting for them to come knock on your door like J.D. Vance said?
Minneapolis public schools have canceled classes for the next 2 days.
The teachers union says this comes after ICE showed up to the campus of one of their Minneapolis schools.
Okay, so first thing first, now we're just we kind of rethinking about, like, what's happening with ICE in Minnesota with, like, Renee Lee, the girl in the car, and, like, the manifestation that goes afterwards. I didn't know they also, like, closed schools for, like, 2 days because it was, like, so bad. And I think, like, it's true, like, also, like, these new sensibilities that also you redefine what is a crime, what is no anarchy, not anarchy, but, like, they're going to, like, say that is bad. Not that much. They're just trying to, like, democratic, you know what I'm saying? Like, where's the limit of activism and, like, manifestation? They're also, like, going to put this a bit more further, you know? Going to manifestation is they're going to frame it into something that's, like, worse, more extreme, more, you know, more divisive.
What else are you fucking waiting for?
So throughout that operation, a lot of journalists who aren't me also did some fantastic interviews capturing the passionate perspective of protesters. And on the right-wing side of things, high-up government officials were also barking and making a lot of noise as well, especially Christy No. Shout out to Brian. Bimbo's on top. But one perspective left out entirely is the perspective of the ICE agents themselves. From what I've been told, today's interview with three...
And also another thing that's kind of cool to, like, actually know what's happening is to be able to really see each actor talking to themselves. What does each actor says about the situation that everyone seems to be talking about? That's why, like, yeah, I agree. What about the people that are inside of the institution itself? The ICE policemen themselves. What do you have to say about the whole thing? You have the protesters. You can you hear what the government seems to be saying. Hear what the third-party debater, annoying internet influencer says.
Three different agents is the first time that individual ICE agents who are masked in the field have gotten on camera to speak their minds since the operation concluded.
That's awesome.
I should note
That's
these interviews were only made possible because of the assistance of our buddy Carl, who you'll meet in a minute. Now, before proceeding, I just want to establish one important fact. There is no such thing as an ICE agent.
So under DHS, there's lots of different agencies. ICE itself, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, is made up of enforcement and removal operations, ERO.
And that's the thing too. There's, like, ICE into itself is like a globalized, like, thing we talk about. There's a lot of, like, different branch over, like, how they're going to enforce law, right? It's like it's police. It's like the police force is not just everyone is a police force. There's some people that have to deal with the speed tickets, while other or have to deal with, like, worse crime, and others are, like, there's, like, so many stuff, right? It's like such a complex institution too.
ICE is made up of ERO, which is enforcement and removal operations.
Okay. You know, I think like into these new sensibilities, we seems to be really seeing what they call, I think, ERO. You know what he just said. That's the ICE is, like, more about illegal immigration. That's, like, that branch seems to be, like, holding more forms over, like, how it operates, probably. And there's, like, the idea of the budget too. Like, how do the budget is located into the institutions. There's also like a lot of thing about like how you're going to direct your money that says a lot about like what you try to make important. You know, what is the thing the institution makes important? Deal with.
Handle the immigration and detention side of our agency, and then ICE is also made up of HSI, which is Homeland Security Investigations.
So which department exactly are you employed?
There's a lot of department, like that's the thing. There's a lot of departments. There's a lot of people working in these things. There's department, then there's like the people that enforce the law. That's the thing. It's like a whole structure, right?
Security investigations.
And what sort of work do you guys do?
I mentioned we have a really broad scope of federal statutes that we investigate. We are the investigative arm under DHS. ERO is responsible for enforcement and removal. They work a lot with other countries when red notices are issued and fugitives need to be found who don't have status, things like that.
HSI has handled a lot of very famous cases in the last couple of years. The Sean.
You see, like HSI, that's another like branch. They deal with other stuff, other type of like law enforcement. And there's probably like a more philosophical like take upon like how do you define what is legal, what is right, what is wrong, you know, like more of that like which is really interesting. Law approach of frame, you know, methodology upon like seeing the world, more of a law approach, and what about justice, maybe, you know, justice, what crime is, the idea of justice, what it means to be justice. You know, I feel like justice is such a definition that can change through time and that it can evolve, and, you know, and like these institutions are kind of like reflecting definition of what justice means in the US right now, or like let's say Trump.
Collins case, that was pretty famous. HSI has also been involved in the El Chapo and currently the President Maduro case.
You see, like the HSI, they seem like to be like the good guys, big guys. They're going to like do big stuff like Maduro, Didi, and like all these like high public figure. They deal with that sort of like more, yeah.
Case out of Venezuela.
What was internal dialogue like at HSI after the release of the redacted Epstein files?
As law enforcement officers, we want to believe that the people who were investigating those looked at that stuff and did what they could. If I don't believe that, I don't know what to do.
This must be a weird feeling. You're working for the government, then you see the government release these files that they had been gatekeeping for years, which seem to implicate a lot of connected, powerful people to pedophilia, which is the exact thing that you were fighting against, among other things. Did you feel betrayed?
A little bit. I'm not surprised. It's not the first time I've heard that people in Hollywood or the music industry are like kids. The eating kids thing, that was bad.
And now Michael Jackson, for some reason, as a revival, I keep seeing people like talking about Michael Jackson. What happened? Why is Michael Jackson like a thing now? Like I thought this guy was fucking like.
Wanted to throw up at that one. Yeah, I feel betrayed. I feel like, why are we?
Yeah, your bosses are like, they're giving your bosses. You know?
Why are we holding on to this? Why are we gatekeeping this?
As I mentioned, these interviews were only possible because of my boy Carl. You guys want to meet Carl? I have fantastic news. Here he is.
My name's Carl. I'm an investigative journalist. I've been labeled the ICE Whisperer by Wired. I didn't give myself that name, but I've been interviewing ICE agents for the past 2 months straight.
How did you establish such close contact?
That's cool. That's cool. I like that. I like that sort of journalism. You know, that's the thing that pissed me off. Like when I was in school, like people were always like, you know, they were kind of stuck in their own actor position. You know? They don't want to see what's happening into the other side. Like I've got, you know, I think it's like nothing. I think I need to be more journalistic integrity. I don't know how to be that. But instead of like politics and opinions, I just like kind of try to gather information for fun and be journalistic.
Contact with ICE agents. I don't think I do anything special other than offer a voice of neutrality, but more importantly, like I'll listen. My questions are to keep them talking. That's my whole goal. I don't hit them with any gotcha stuff or try to prove a point. And I've received a lot of hate for it, a tremendous amount of hate for just interviewing them in the first place.
What do people say?
You shouldn't be platforming people, which I think is total fucking bullshit. A lot of heat for like, you need to dox these people, you need to dox these agents. These people are monsters.
No, the agents are like the lower people. They're just following orders. You know what I'm saying? It's like being mad to soldiers. You know, like I don't think like you need to be mad at soldiers. They're just trying to do their job. Like I understand the institution they report off is like really fucked up, and maybe these police guys deserve more awareness over like the workplace they're working in. But at the end of the day, I don't think these people are, you know, there's other people to be mad at it.
But also beyond that, a lot of support. So I get messages from people who are like, I fucking hate ICE. I'm the most anti-ICE person, but like.
And I think it becomes like a bit like with the Nuremberg trials in the old Battle of Evil. Like, who are we blaming for just something that seems undemocratic happening? You know what I'm saying? Who's really to blame? Yeah, of course, people in power, but like, where's the limit of who can have the responsibility over what's happening? It's like you go back to like the Nazis in Germany. Like, is the random guy that was living in Germany part of it? Did the person that decided to stay in Germany and like follow orders is responsible? You know, in some sense, yeah, but at the same time, so there's stuff like going on. It's more complex. You know, it's a yes and a no. It's both. It's a oppose truth at the same time, you know?
These interviews are eye-opening.
What is the security risk for the agents who are participating in this piece?
I mean, the security risk is if they talk to the media, they can get fired, basically.
Oh.
That's it. There's also a risk for us. Keeping the identities anonymous doesn't only protect them, it protects us as well. So if there's some crazy group that's like, give me their info, we don't know their info.
I hope every one of those lawless who call ICE officers get doxxed one by one, and they get the public shaming they deserve.
I do all my...
You see, I mean, I can understand there's an image of like shaming the institution from the police, but sometimes I feel the police themselves are not the people that's like, they're just trying to have a job. They believe in justice, they believe in their system. Just like, you know, I think sometimes the system itself, you want to like have someone represent it as an image. Sometimes it's like more than that.
Interviews through an encrypted texting app called Signal, which hopefully you guys can put up my info. Keep messaging me.
It's going to be on screen.
That's an end-to-end encrypted app. From that app, the interviews move to another app that's also end-to-end encrypted, but it is not a US-based company. So there is no way a US warrant or subpoena could ever get into that chat. So that's my double layer of security, just how I make contact and how I make interviews.
What can you tell us about our first interviewee?
So our first interviewee is an HSI agent.
Gangs, drugs, firearms, human trafficking, human smuggling, intellectual property rights, the logo on the movies before when we watched VHS, like don't copy this, that type of stuff. Or to antiquities theft, you know, repatriating stolen artwork from grave robbers or, you know, back to their home country. There's such a large scope of things that we can investigate under HSI.
Awesome. The second one is also HSI. This interview is kind of sensitive, but this agent also combats child trafficking, amongst other things, in a more hands-on manner.
We are not deportation officers who go out and grab people, round them up, and then deport them. That is not our...
Again, there's so many types of cops. We think every cops is the same. They're
primary
not.
function. That is not what we do. Since January, February of last year, that is what our agency is.
And again, like I think people sometimes don't know the motivation behind these guys. Like they really think they're there just to be like fuck up stuff, you know, which is not it. I think for me, like if a policeman feels like they're more there for like a sense of justice, even if that sense of justice is maybe like that's wrong, but like a bit distorted. Sometimes I don't know. I don't know what to talk about. I'm scared.
been pushing us to do that has put a halt to our criminal investigations.
And you're going to conduct that second interview because you have a pretty good rapport with this person.
Yes, I've been building a relationship with all these agents for like a very long time now. I put hundreds and hundreds of hours into just building and keeping this trust.
You're down to wear a brown suit, right?
Whatever I need to do, man.
You need aesthetic consistency.
Whatever I need to do.
I have an extra tie for you too.
Do you think that HSI and ERO should be separated?
Yes. At one point, there was a huge push to separate ERO and HSI. At one point, ERO.
That's interesting too, that inside of these institutions, there's also dialogue of like, no, we should be separate branch. Because I feel like the way they're talking about right now, they're kind of dealing with it at the same time. Which some people are like, no, we need to separate it to like be better or something. But for now, I didn't took as much note as I would have. I feel my speech is not as clear as I want it to be. But yeah.
DRO was called DRO, which was Detention and Removal Operations, and HSI was called OI, which is Office of Investigations. That split up to what we know now as ERO and HSI. A lot of managers and a lot of people in Washington, D.C. were pushing to have those two agencies completely separate, and there was great momentum in doing that. And then all of a sudden, that all fell apart when we, as HSI, were merged once again with ERO to go pick up illegal immigrants.
Okay, I wasn't paying attention. Video games.
Called OI, which is Office of Investigations. That split up to what we know now as ERO and HSI. A lot of managers and a lot of people in Washington, D.C. were pushing to have those two agencies completely separate, and there was great momentum in doing that. And then all of a sudden, that all fell apart when we, as HSI, were merged once again with ERO to go pick up illegal immigrants who were working as landscapers or working at restaurants.
That arrest went viral on social media. It shows the 48-year-old pinned to the ground and punched before being taken into custody. Authorities say Barranco assaulted federal agents with a weed whacker, but no such charge was ever filed.
So you feel like Operation Metro Surge was bad optics?
Definitely bad optics. It's not new that sanctuary cities and sanctuary states have a different type of crime problem. That's not new information. We learn how to work in those areas, and we have systems in place with our partner agencies to make things happen. And I think that Metro Surge probably single-handedly destroyed a lot of those relationships in these sanctuary cities and states and have set us up for probably another decade of trying to rebuild that relationship.
What are some major mistakes that you think were made?
Maybe going too hard, too fast. There are problems that need to be solved, but you just can't come in like a wrecking ball and change everything in a heart.
Yeah, and I think it's also like going so fast. There's like a certain like violence to that like sort of act that's like scary, and through that fear, it kind of feels like really a fascist a bit. I'll be back. I need to like. I find it really annoying that I cannot like express my thoughts the way I would want it to. Annoying.
There has to be some consensus among leadership and some consideration of the front line, the ones who are doing the work.
How did you feel about the killing of Renee Good?
Made me sick. I know that you guys have heard it before, that we sometimes feel like they're waiting for one of us to be shot and killed. As an example, again, another person who didn't deserve to die.
So you feel like the agents that were involved in that situation did the wrong thing?
We are held to some case law that makes determinations about when uses of force are right or wrong. are objectively reasonable. While I am not in a place to make that determination for each of the agents involved, it definitely feels wrong to me.
How did incidents like that impact?
So basically, and how much like the structure responsibility they gave to the policemen? Are they like, you can do what you want? Is there like a certain aspect of like because the structure, because I was trained that way. Oh, there's also this thing. I'm not sure if they're going to like talk about it, but like all these things go through how they are trained. I think there was a thing about like they didn't have like a lot of week now, really rushed police officers, that they didn't have like the right tools to be able to like it's not complicated. It's really not that complicated for me. Just it's not. I'm not able to like make it words.
Impact morale within ICE.
I don't know what happened. The more I stream, the more it becomes hard to talk. It fed the wrong side of talking, because I'm always like just talking with myself. It doesn't have like this sort of comeback I would have expected.
Some division amongst law enforcement in general as well with those. You know, everybody has their opinions. That was right, it was wrong, he should have done this, he should have done that. We're human, you know, we have divisions amongst all of us. And I think both of those came at a time where we were already in such a low morale situation. There is some compassion amongst all of us. You know, we're all in a position where we were working 6-7 days a week, 12-hour shifts, didn't really have a say in how much we're working. And even people who are not law enforcement can understand that when you're being driven that hard, decision-making gets worse.
Yeah.
Emotions get heightened, things like that. So I think it just kind of illustrated and exacerbated the state we were already in.
You mentioned a couple different times the political goals of the Trump administration in deploying all of these federal agents and employees to Minneapolis at the same time. Why do you think the Trump administration did that in particular?
They weren't secretive in their platforms before election.
The Republican platform promises to launch the largest deportation operation in the history of our country.
When they were on the circuit, you know, he was very clear. So I think, you know, when people come in under asylum or trying to get asylum hearings, they're waiting 7 years for a hearing.
So you feel like increasing the amount of judges in the immigration courts
would be great.
Expediting the asylum seeking process would have been a way to avoid the situation.
Yeah, I think those.
Yeah, that's also the thing that's like feel really weird. Sometimes like I would go back to like how the budget is like dealt. There's a decision like that like you could just engage more judge to make it faster, but no, the Trump administration preferred to like make the money over ICE and like that sort of tactics to like deal with immigration. It's like they could have chosen like a way to just make the judge system faster, but instead they chose the scary route. You know, they chose that way to deal with immigration more than the other way. It feels really good, really weird, because like I feel like depending where you're going to put the money, the consequences are going to be different. And I feel like when you want to deal with the immigration. Okay, let's say at the end you want to deal with illegal immigration. That's the goal. But there's like multiple ways to deal with that problem. For some reason, the Trump administration decided to, play upon the rush police. Like that's way more scary. That creates more division. That feels more violent. Instead of just like engaging more judge, where it's more discreet. It's more like I think that's why there's like an element over like the ICE police that's really just to give a message more than like actually deal with the immigration themselves. I don't think that really going to like do it. It just feels like really engulfing the attention over that stuff. It's more about a show than actually dealing with the stuff. And it's making a show through violence and fear and stuff like that.
Be great plans. I think our administration is just not
aesthetic,
thinking through the best way to tackle the problem.
It's showing like you're strong and masculine. There's like that's why there's an element of like almost like there, like coded a bit of like autocratic, not autocratic, but like how do we say that when something is like really authoritative. That's really, I don't like the word fascist, to be fair. I prefer the word that's really authoritative. Words. Authoritative, is that a word? Yeah, it is. There's a name for parent styles. Give me a second. Parent style. For me, authoritative. Yeah, authoritative. Yeah, that's it. They make the thing really feel authoritative. Authoritarian. No, not authoritarian. Authoritative. No, not authoritative. Authoritarian. That's a word. Authoritarian. No, it feels authoritarian more than maybe authoritarian. That's the thing.
Just throwing resources in particular places and making a fool of us.
So you feel like a lot of the showmanship of Operation Metro Surge was what caused public trust to be lost?
Yeah. And I mean, Border Patrol is at the front of that. I don't think it turned out well.
So you don't like Bobino?
I mean, he's a figurehead. I don't know him, but no.
And through that, they also like decide like Border Patrol is a good thing to get the money on Border Patrol. And I think like for him, like he's talking about like how now the institution themselves has a bad rep over the public, but it's because it's showing a certain like show that it's not the one he's like expecting. It's showing an authoritarian show more than a justice show, you know? It feels more like militaristic. It's militaristic, you know? Just like your justice, whatever. You know, there's an aesthetic. There's like a certain like aesthetic of justice in there. That feels really like more trying to get your justice system to be looked at, you know?
Just the way Border Patrol's
the aesthetic of your
operating
justice
is
system.
Vigilante-ish. It feels lawless. It feels aggressive. It feels unnecessary.
So you feel like
Exactly
the CBP
yeah.
Border Patrol
it
guys.
creates like a weird, like, you don't want like your justice system to feel authoritarian. That is not like how your justice system should feel in a democracy. You know what I'm saying? That is not the way you want. You don't want to fear that. That doesn't feel right with the certain aesthetic we're giving ourselves into, like, as a citizen, over what it means to be a democracy. You know, there's really a play upon like aesthetics. Trump is really good at that. I don't remember who was saying that, but it was basically saying like Trump is really good at being like an aesthetic. That's how he got people. Like, he's saying a bunch of stuff just to get his aesthetic going on, and I feel that's one of the reason the administration decided to invest the money into that way to deal with the illegal immigrants, which gives like a certain like aesthetic. The aesthetic like feeds so much division. It feeds like fear. It feeds that sort of like domination too. Anyways,
who basically got deputized as ICE agents in Minneapolis were way out of line.
Yeah.
The fact that a lot of CBP Border Patrol agents are like working these borderlands where they're having to sort of like do snatch and grabs of people that have immediately hopped the border. Do you think that played a factor in how they behaved on the streets of Minneapolis?
Yes, it affects Minneapolis in the optics because they're operating as if anyone who looks like they may have crossed the border or didn't come from here is here illegally. Because that's what they're
that's the aesthetic.
Like in Los Angeles, where they're just
that's the image you want to give about
people
like
off the street, you know, trying to clean up a Home Depot parking lot for all the people waiting for work. I mean, why do that? Those aren't the people we want. They just assume that everyone who's not white came across the border at some point in time. And they're coming from an area where everybody coming across the border was coming across illegally. So I don't know that they're properly educated on the laws. I don't know that they're properly guided by their leadership on how to handle encounters with people. Like, what is a consensual encounter? What is not? Yeah, I mean, they treated it like the border, and it's not the case. You can't just see somebody walking on the street and assume that because they're in a Hispanic neighborhood that they...
Yeah, and there's some sense, and like there's a way like how can you really move the sensibilities to everywhere? You start with the borders that feels more fine to be authoritative, and then you move that sensibilities through the streets, like you said. Like you start the aesthetic there about the border because it's more accepted to be doing that there, because like there's a sense of like the institution can do that sort of like authoritarian stuff when it doesn't comes to your citizen of your own country. Again, you can debate there, but like it feels more accepted, and then they kind of move that sort of like stuff through its own citizen, and that's why it feels even like worse. You know, there's a say, I don't remember who said that, but like basically the way you're going to deal with other citizens from other countries, it's probably the way your own government can be doing that to your own, to its own citizens. I mean, they're illegal immigrants, but now it's going to the streets. You know what I'm saying? They move that sort of like authoritarian violence to outside of the borders. Now the illegal immigrants are not just from the borders; they're from everywhere. They can be your neighbor.
Are here
and you can bring that violence from the police right beside you, so you feel that it's way more extreme now.
According to our third ICE whistleblower source, this kind of racism is also endemic within HSI itself, not just among Border Patrol agents being deputized to Minneapolis, LA, and elsewhere.
I know when I first got into ICE, my supervisor had like let me know like, hey, we've had guys get grabbed by other officers, be it like local police or other ICE officers, just assuming they're a detainee based on how they look like. So he's like, stick close to me if you ever go like deep south or any of those weird facilities.
So you're Hispanic and Native American. Can you tell us a little bit about the racism that you did face?
So the discrimination kind of came when I was visiting
And of course, like these aesthetics are like they're going to have sensibilities that into themselves they're going to be a hierarchies. You know, they're going to be like a story that's going to make an enemy and a good guy. And of course, the bad guy is going to be like the Mexican. The good guy is going to be the white American or something. So even into that sort of like authoritarian like storytelling they're going to give like a aesthetic to their justice system, it's embedded into a story that creates like a hierarchy between people.
Charlotte office, which wasn't my home office. I was the sole officer that people were kind of like focusing in on with making jokes or just making out random comments. Like I had one recruit come up to me and be like, hey, I bet I could take you in jiu-jitsu out of random. And I just had another white officer point directly at me like, hey, get his brown ass in line with the other detainees. I literally turned and looked at him and I literally just like lift up my hoodie to show my credentials, my ID, like, hey, I'm not a detainee. And that's where it kind of dawned on me like, oh, these guys kind of have something against individuals.
And I guess like into that like sort of stuff, it also brings a sort of people that love that sort of like aesthetic. You know, the people that are already like embedded into these racist culture, they're going to be drawn with stuff that kind of like things like that way that comforts the way they see the world, and even into some sense reinforce their way of seeing the world, because now they can enforce their authoritarian like law thing. So that's why there's like also it brings like the bad cops in there. You don't have the good cops. It's like have a sense of justice, like that's fine, and like understand that the institution itself is going to push these cops to make like a bad job. You know, no, it's going to like really encourage like the bad cops to do their job, because the bad cops are good at being authoritarian, love storytelling about domination and some shit.
Colleagues, or at least a few of their staff members do.
You see that it's crazy. Like even that storytelling gets inside of it's their own. The own culture, the own cop culture. Like now, even like if you're a Mexican like a cop, even if you're born here but born in the U.S., you're going to get like you're going to feel the storytelling about like the domination, the hierarchy embedded into the storytelling they give.
Keeping quiet about these incidents on an HR level, this officer was fired very shortly after for apparently making an anti-Semitic comment that he says he never made to a different officer during an ERO operation.
Like I said, I wasn't even pulled aside by anybody. I wasn't asked a question. I wasn't told like, hey, this person claimed you said this. It was just like one day they just pulled me aside. They're just like, hey, you're being fired for officer misconduct, and they hand me that letter, no names on it, just like a vague quote.
Yeah, what did that quote say?
Something to the effect of, I knew my girl was the one when she said she hated Jews in Israel.
The termination letter quotes, I knew my girl was the one when she said she hated Jews in Israel.
Yeah.
So you never sent anything remotely?
No, that was a different officer that said that. In that moment during the transportation operation, it was out of pocket because we were all in a van. Just everyone was talking. I wasn't talking. I was just quiet. I was sitting in the middle. But nobody had said anything when the guy blurted it out. So everyone just kept it pushing to get the objective done.
Despite this, he was reported shortly after and immediately fired.
Did anything happen to them?
I have no idea if that recruit was fired or nothing was told of me, like of any of the other officers facing disciplinary or even my side being asked like, hey, do you hear any other officer engage in misconduct? No grant rights were read. They didn't ask me about my side of events. They're just like, you're being terminated for misconduct.
Are you pursuing any sort of legal action?
I'm pursuing right now an EEO claim, which sadly, as a legal matter, can take at best a year, sometimes longer, because the government contracts out to investigate that. And I do have a lawyer on standby, and lawyers just like wait for their ROI results before you pursue this fully in court because it costs money. So that's where I'm at right now.
Most people don't know that Border Patrol is over 50% Hispanic, and ICE is roughly 30% Hispanic, and nearly half of ICE is non-white. Why do you think so many Hispanic people decide to take jobs in immigration enforcement?
I think it has a lot to do with the communities growing up on the borders and seeing the issues. And then for the few people that weren't on the borders, they kind of have families that are down in Mexico and they're affected by crimes regarding the cartel. So a lot of people typically from those communities join law enforcement.
And that's also interesting. Like, there's like a lot of people that comes into like the police, or like they're called as like a certain like duty to be like work for justice. And it's interesting to see like what he's saying about like, what about the Mexican that become cops? For them, there's like, yeah, the justice over cartels. Like, makes sense. It makes sense. For the white dudes, I'm not sure what it could be, but like they're also like a call for justice, and a bunch of in there are just racist bad people. Just, their sense of justice is a bit like distorted. So.
Intentions of like, I want my community to be better. I don't want to just say it. I want to be a part of that change. So when you have these young people from these communities coming to these agencies, they're trying to change it for the better.
What do you think like they see in these communities that have them like enlist or join?
In those communities, you see a lot of cartel come through the border. Like,
that's really interesting though. Like, why is the motivation between a certain community they're going to come into like the justice system? Like, yeah, it makes sense. Cartel, yeah. If I grew up like alongside, I mean, I don't know if it's alongside. I would have like a sense of like, justice. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the word injustice. Yeah, I want to fight the cartel. I feel it's, you know, that's why I'm like in the justice system. It makes sense. I like it.
There's a lot of cartel and narco terrorists that are in the United States that operate within it, and they see people get kidnapped from the community. They see people get murdered. They have family members that they're aware that get murdered, harassed, or overseas by cartel members. So because of them being either directly affected by it or just seeing it, they're like, I want to protect people and go after these very, very bad men that think they could get away with it.
Hey, what's up, you guys? As I'm sure you know, in today's episode, we spoke to ICE and DHS agents about the nuances and divisions within the actual organization itself. But what about current ICE news today? More specifically, how is the mainstream media covering modern ICE operations in the May of 2026? Where should I go to figure this out? Maybe a dope-ass news aggregate called Ground News, which I'm gonna pull up right now on my phone. I'm typing in the phrase ICE agent, where I found this story. An agent in Minnesota named Gregory Donald Morgan Jr. just got charged with not one, but 2 counts of second-degree assault after prosecutors say he pulled his service weapon out on civilians during a road rage incident on the highway. As some would say, he upped the pole on some civilian. This particular story has 189 sources. Using this Ground News bias distribution tool, you can see the political leanings of the sources here. You can really feel the power of language when it comes to how the incident is being described to their target audience. For example, left-leaning audiences use words like criminally charged when describing the perp. Then, of course, right-leaning coverage focuses on the case's prosecutor, calling them a far-left and blue state actor. So how does that bias hit in mainstream headlines considered to be center by?
And I think like in politics, now that I think about it, that sort of like storytelling about like a hierarchy between political systems is like one of the way you drive people like more radicalized to. Like, maybe like, I'm not sure, but inside of like the political parties, there's like so much like a storytelling about like the bad guy Democrat. It's radicalization. It feels like a tribal mentality.
some cable audience demographics. Naturally, on Ground News here, I scroll down to see what Fox News has to say. So it says, Minnesota prosecutor charges ICE agent in gun incident as Savannah Hernandez case remains uncharged. Savannah Hernandez has nothing to do with the specific road rage incident. A pretty convenient reframe that keeps things in the two-party political echo chamber while simultaneously depriving the Fox News audience of key information. That's the story Fox is pushing, and some of us know why, but if you don't, go to the factuality and ownership panel in the Ground News app, and you'll figure out who owns Fox News, and boom, Ground News, you figured it out. All right, let's read a headline from a left-leaning outlet called Slate, why the new criminal charges against an ICE agent in Minneapolis could be a true turning point. Then last but not least, Reuters. So on Reuters it says, prosecutors in a Minnesota county charge an ICE agent with assault. That's it. Straightforward clinical analysis, no spin, the facts as they are.
Facts.
Reuters. So
Facts and
now
logic
we've seen
only.
3 versions of the exact same story that all
wonder.
honestly contain valuable information and allow you, news consumer, to develop a more rounded view of this story. Ground News lays the whole picture out at once.
Wait,
Who's
maker.
covering it, how they're framing it, what factuality rating the outlet carries, and who owns them. I use this shit every day, and it's a perfect partner for Channel 5 because our missions effectively align. And guess what? You too can be just like me if you subscribe right now through my link, which is ground.news/.
Definitely.
What motivated some of that?
Know what to do. Anyways, back to Trump's motivations for his initial raids in Los Angeles, which came a few months before Minneapolis metro surge.
You feel like it was cruel?
Definitely.
There's also like a history here. I don't really know like the deep thing about like how the justice system, not the justice system, but the ICE raid did. But I feel like if I remember correctly, it was first like the borders, then there was the LA raids. There's pretty. Then it became Minneapolis. By the way, Minneapolis is the same place where George Floyd was, which is not funny, but so that's a short history. I think that makes sense. The border with COVID, then the LA raids, then Minneapolis.
What motivated some of that cruelty?
Oh, it felt
Which is how you can see like the evolving going through. Beep, 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 evolving. Now we are here. Where it's kind of fine to have authoritarian policemen being right into your cities.
petty and personal between Trump and Newsom.
On the other hand, what do you think Trump's
Oh, look
gripe
at
was
this.
with Minneapolis and Minnesota? Does it connect to the riots?
Nick Shirley definitely made a fool out of him, or out of law enforcement in general, by highlighting all that fraud. And he just saw probably Tim Walz, his opponent, another petty nonsense, and look at this mess you're in, I'm gonna come clean it up for you. It feels very petty. I don't see righteous motives.
Do you think it was public pressure from the protesters and the media that led to Metro Surge ending?
Probably. I would think that some leaders felt that pressure and got the top
Yeah.
to agree to dial it back.
We've had
What
great
did you say?
success.
I was.
To Trump's motivations for his initial.
On the other hand, what do you think Trump's gripe was with Minneapolis and Minnesota? Does it connect to the riots?
Nick Shirley definitely made a fool out of him, or out of law enforcement in general, by highlighting all that fraud. And he just saw probably Tim Walz, his opponent, another petty nonsense, and look at this mess you're in.
I guess through that you could also like have a say like, okay, that those are the things that happened, but you can like also track the opinions of the right and the left. How much did they change until time? How did the actors change their own opinion? There's like a bunch of people in there, like how they react. Like you could like have a say that yeah, of course, like the activism is going to be like more radicalized because like everything at the same time get more radicalized. The system itself, even even the cops are getting more radicalized. That like feeds it even more. That sort of like dynamics that just everyone involved has the right to become more radicalized.
I'm gonna come clean it up for you. It feels very petty. I don't see righteous motives.
Do you think it was public pressure from the protesters and the media that led to Metro Surge ending?
Probably. I would think that some leaders felt that pressure and got the top to agree to dial it back.
We've had great success with this operation, and we're leaving Minnesota safer.
So in a way, the protest aims...
So you see the Republicans, what they're saying, for them, like, even with Trump, they're always saying, like, no, we're cleaning. No, it's good. That corners, it's done, dude. I did it. I did the corners. It's too late. It's too late, my little Nico's boy. We're watching now ICE. You know what? I actually didn't look at your two things here. Dude, if you're here, you want to do the, finish your corner and do some, Did I listen to this? I don't remember. You know what? Maybe I haven't listened to it. We do your corner and then we... Let's say, give me a second. Words. Oh my god, words. Corners. If you finish your corners, you have to listen to it. Yeah, I'll do it. We do your corners, and I want to do like 2 layers of the political iceberg. What about that? Can you give me like 5 minutes? I can go pee, and we start doing that. What do you think? And that's my file for Andrew Callaghan. Okay. Let's call this. I'm going to make this folder here. Videos, notes, I suppose. I don't want to save it like that. I want to save it as a paint. No, you don't have to listen to it. Yes, you have listened to it. Oh, I have. Okay. You speak better English than me now, which is crazy. In that case, let's. You still have like a couple of things I want to like look. ICE interviews Channel 5. You still have like a couple of stuff, right? I don't remember listening to this. Maybe this, yeah, sure, but these things, no. And we'll do like the political iceberg. Political ideologies. We'll have to dig deeper in that. Let me go to the bathroom. Cool. Okay. Let's do this. Let's do this. I'm going to not take my headphones this time. I'm going to just like raw dog it. I think that's something I maybe don't do enough on this stream, is just like not listening to music. You can put your own stuff. I will look at this thing. Okay, let's put my cam a bit bigger. Heard Trump wanted to change the name of ICE into NICE. Yeah, of course. He's trying to. Trump is a big aesthetic guy. For him, like everything needs to have a certain image. But the problem with that is that he tries to hide the violence of his aesthetic with like just thing that seems to delegitimize the violence it has. That's the thing I was talking about. You should watch this. This is interesting. Like Andrew Callaghan, like ICE agents. Basically, like I kind of like was talking about that is that the way Trump handles the institutions of like justice, he tries to really have a certain image or sensibilities to where it's like really authoritarian. it feels really like it's not fascist yet, but it's really authoritarian, and I'm not sure if like that sort of aesthetic is that good for the democracy, right? And there's also like a moving of that sensibilities. At first, that authoritarian was always only like a border problem. I don't know, man. This is new. It is. But I feel it's like, where's the limit between like something that's where the severity is like getting there. It's getting there. But that's the thing I'm saying is like, at first, like the authoritarian stuff for illegal immigrants were only like a border problem. Like when Trump came into office and before into his speech, he was talking about the borders. But now he moved the ICE agents, LA. He tested LA. Now it's Minneapolis, and now it's kind of a thing that it can kind of legitimate itself into like using the ICE police and the forces, the authoritarian violence over like anything. And there's like such a vicious way to be using illegal immigrants. The illegal immigrants is like right beside you. It's your neighbor. Now it's not just like a border problem. Now he works at your restaurant, and it really targets like normal people, like some illegal immigrants that's been working for like 15 years at the restaurant. You know what I'm saying? That's like a normal guy. That's a normal guy, but like he's going to show like, oh, they could be anywhere. And that's the aesthetic. You want to like create like a certain like storytelling with that's like divisive, which is fucking vicious. Vicious to have people like that in power. I'm just saying that. Okay. You ready? You ready for aesthetic iceberg? That is parentage style. That is not. Okay. Oh, it's not as deep. Civil libertarianism. What is civil libertarianism? Now it's just like a bunch of concepts. Doesn't mean nothing. Civil libertarianism. How do I write libertarianism? Libertarianism. Big words. Big words. Big words are going to get me no job. Basically, just added civil to sound cool. Yeah, that's the thing. It's probably that. Civil liberalism is a strain of political thoughts that prioritize individual liberties and personal freedom over the authority of a state, corporation, and social norms. They're basically like, okay, you know how we talked about, hello. Okay. You know how we talked beforehand, this guy, John Stuart Mill, and there's a philosophy of individualism, of liberalism, of like, the importance over individualism. Now, get the best out of people when you encourage their individualism. I think civil libertarianism is just that in practice. It's that, but into like a format that can give priorities to like your political system. I think that's the difference. The difference between this and libertarianism. That's the thing I'm saying. I think like libertarianism is just like a philosophy of thoughts. It's just a certain like ideal. Whereas civil libertarianism is that, how can we make the citizen priorities over that? How can you make the sensibilities the thing that drives the storytelling of your political? That's how I see it. Like, put in practice into a certain way. Like liberalism is like this broad idea, but now how can you like really put that into like a real political action? How can you really structure a thing towards those sensibilities? And I think that's where civil libertarianism is. In that case, I think civil just means like putting in practice. Like all these things, free expression, privacy rights, due process of equality, separation of church and state. They're like kind of like just like libertarianism, but put in practice. Is there even like a difference? Maybe it's like not that much. Civil libertarianism focuses especially on protecting individual civil liberties like free speech, blah 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 from state government. In contrast, libertarianism is broader, overarching political philosophy that combines civil liberties with free market. Oh, there's also that thing. Yeah, Max, I think like they said it too. Like into that sphere, we don't really talk about the economy that much. Well, libertarianism is kind of free market, while civil liberalism is like we don't talk about the economy here. We're just talking about the states itself. And I guess the law. One is way more embedded into like also like the economy, how it should be functioning. Whereas civil liberalism doesn't really care, as I see it. They're just like a bunch of like sensibilities. Market doesn't matter. Should have like communist civil libertarianism. Okay. Yeah, that's the thing that's also like really confusing, because like I think for a lot of like people that like are in political philosophy, there's sometimes they don't really separate the economy to rights, or like the economy is like part of like existence. When some other people are going to like separate the economy to that sort of like civil rights, you know, it doesn't make sense for me too. But you understand, there's like a difference. But some people are going to make them way less different. Okay. You want classical music in your background, or you listen to something? You guys should listen to some classical music in the background. Feel like academics, feel like intellectuals. I'm not going to listen to it. I don't. Please! Okay, it's only me. They're talking about the rights of citizens and the government. Yeah, I know. But like with liberalism, it's like, for them, the economy being a free market is also like foundational. While with civil liberalism, I think they kind of like put aside the economy, just like a broad sensibilities. You know what I'm saying? Going to listen to some. Okay, nice. Agrarianism. I think that's like a. It's just like putting importance over like agrarian sectors, which are like agriculture. That's how I think it is. Yeah, agrarianism is a social and political philosophy advocating for the primacy of rural life, family farming, and widespread property ownership. Okay, and political dissent. It's basically like rurals. Like putting a lot of like importance over like rural people in like agriculture. Oh god, that's silly. No, you say it's silly because now we live like in a system where you don't really need that much. That sort of like culture embedded into your political system doesn't have the need to be existing that way. But like I think like when you talk about the Romans and you study like their political systems, there were like a lot of like organism. Like being a farmer was like such part of like the identity. Go like medieval times, I think it was like a big thing. I'm not sure 100%, but it's more that. I feel it's like a bit less modern. That you could say like maybe like Republicans in some states, they have like a more like rural sensibilities, putting importance over your agriculture culture. You say it's silly, but like you know, like your society needs food, dude. Like one of the things that like it's so important is like the agriculture like sector. I think we don't think about it enough, but it's such one of the basic things, and it all starts with like agriculture. Maybe like it's a culture that's like more big here in North America, but you know. Then we have like more industrial sensibilities, I think, and then agrarianism. We put more importance over like industries. Of course, but you can be a farmer without calling yourself name a silly name. Yeah, I agree. But it's more the idea of like your political system putting more importance over that sector. You know, it's like today you have industrialism and technologicals. There's a name for people that are like technological. How do they call these guys? Technocrats? No, technocrats is another thing. Anyways, just think you can as a society have like jobs and culture that are going to be more important. And agorism is just like the idea of like that sector is really important. We need to like give that sort of philosophy more. Well, for some time, because of big cities and like CEOs and stuff like that, technology and industries has become the main sensibilities, the main philosophy of how you're going to see jobs. You know, it's like, oh, you know, all the I agree that should be an important factor in society, but definitely not the leading one. Yeah, but like today, I think today we don't live in a system that really needs that. But I think the Romans, medieval times, in some sense, even the communists or some shit, they put a lot of like importance over like the identity of being a farmer. Even in Quebec here, I think like for a while we were like rural people, and the identity of like being a farmer was like really big into like our roots. It's like a historical thing. I don't think today you need that much that. It depends. I think the thing with agrarianism, they say political decentralization. There's like and widespread property ownership. There's like a certain like community thing about that. I feel when you go into like more leftist circles that are like more communitarian, like they really put importance over your community. Oh yeah, for sure. There was always peasant and intellectuals. Yeah, but that's the dynamics of it, I think. But even then, I feel like agrarianism is like the idea of always, oh, you're owning a farm. You know, that sort of shit. Yo, I'm owning a farm with my little community of like hippies. You know, you can twist agrarianism to a bunch of ways. But it's interesting. It's interesting. Like Amish. You know what? Probably, yeah, the Amish, yeah. I never forgot, yeah, the Amish are like really big, probably over like that sort of like community. They twisted that agrarianism into like their own way. I mean, for them, there's like also like a lot of religion and isolation, I think. But yeah, in Florida, there's like a lot of Amish communities. Each time I go to Florida to visit my grandparents, there's a lot of Amish people with like their horse, and they have like their own groceries that you can go to. Yeah, that's sort of, yeah, the Amish. One of the cultures I like into that philosophy a bit. Right-wing populism. Basically, okay. So we I don't remember if you remember us talking about populism. Florida? Yeah, Florida. You know, Quebecers, for some reason they love Florida. When you get old, you want to have like, you know, one of the ways you can have a successful life in Quebec is like once you're old enough, you want your little house in Florida. You want the beach and the sun because in Quebec there's too much snow. And so like when I go there in Florida, there's like Disney, that's kind of cool. Your grandparents in Florida, that's sick, dude. Yeah, it's kind of sick. I mean, they're Quebecers, but like you know they moved there for winter. They call them like I think snowbirds, some shit. Orange, they were cool. Yeah. It's also like a lot of like swamps. No, Florida is a vibe. It's really nice. I haven't like visited that much else in the US, but I like Florida. I feel it fits right with Quebec. Florida has like a redneck sensibilities that like I think Quebecers like. I don't know if there's a place like that in Europe. I mean, you guys have snow. Are there a thing about like I'm going like Italy or something, like for while it's winter, like I have the sun, or going to Greece. Okay, right-wing populism. Basically, if you remember, populism is the idea of like having discourse about your political system that are like kind of simple. They give you like no complexity. They're just saying like a story where there's a big bad guy and we are the good guy we need to fight for. And if the left does it, the right does it too. Just like right-wing populism is like Trump. Oh, illegal immigrants are the bad guy. Let's simple. I don't care. Just keep it simple. You know, such places are usually like Greece, Spain, Italy. Yeah. I mean, yeah, old people are the same in Occident everywhere. Okay, old people don't like the snow. Globalism. Globalism. I think globalism is just like the idea of like, you know, today everything is connected. We need to keep it international. We need to be a global thing. You know, the market can be global, but I there's probably a way you can twist globalism into like a lot of ways. Globalism. Globalism is the ideological belief that countries, economies, and societies are interconnected and global cooperation is essential for solving shared challenges. While globalization describes the actual process of worldwide integration, globalism is the normative framework that prioritizes international collaboration and multilateralism. Okay, it's basically like big society. I mean, less today because I feel like Trump with like how he deal with tariff is kind of to fight back over like globalism. Like you don't want to be like dependent over like all the other countries are going to react. Like I heard like a thing that was really interesting. Okay, it's the idea where I think European Union is a good. Oh yeah. But I wonder like how broad globalism is. Can you get like a smaller globalism where it's like for Europe, it's just one continent, or like globalism like into itself is like more broad, it's like a more international thing. What I was going to say, yeah, I had this good things like there's a lot of criticism about globalism because like one of the way we connect between the countries is like just the hegemony of like pop culture and capitalism that's like kind of took over like the world. You know, there's like a lot of like bad consequences between having like that sort of like economical system everywhere, especially between like North and South countries, you know, like in Africa or like South America or some shit. They're not having it as good with globalism. But there was the idea that now though, if you're willing to go at war with like your neighbor, it's going to impact your own stock, and we see it a lot with oil. Now the US is trying to like fuck with Iran, and everywhere now oil goes so bad. You know, that's the effect of like globalism. Now it's like there's certain like dependence that in some sense are going to restrict wars. Which is like a good idea, but like Trump, that's why I think Trump's trying to have tariff and like try to isolate the country so it doesn't add dependence if it wants to fuck with other stuff. You know, like the oil right now is kind of bad because of globalism. All the oil is from other countries. Everything is from other countries. And and I think it's one of the reasons there's like a lot of politics around the world that try to be like more isolate themselves to be like off that dependence of globalism, which is also interesting. Of a more like international like approach to politics. Marxist Leninism. Okay. I talk to a lot of Marxist because sociology is like there's a lot of like branch of political like studying that's like bred into like Marxism. But basically if Marxism itself is just the idea of Marx and how the capitalist economy is like kind of bad, you know, for itself. I'm not sure what Lenin was talking about Marxism. Because Marx was like one idea about communism and how the economy should be run. But I think Leninists are like a bit more authoritative, okay? They're a bit fascist, okay? They're fascists. They're more authoritarian. But I'm not sure what's the difference between like classic Marx and Leninists. And there's also Maoist. Maoist, or the application of Marx, how Mao did in China. Which is another like thing. For some reason, I don't know why, but like Marx keep like spinning himself into like authoritative systems. I wonder how that happens. So, communists are always going to try to defend their ideology. There's like stuff to learn from that, but it's just like it's always applicated into like the most like dog shit way possible. And that, yeah. Marxism is a radical communist ideology aiming to overthrow and about that's a basic thing. Vanguard, discipline. Yeah, they're just like one party state. They're authoritarian. That's it. They try to be communist and they're going to use the frame of communism to just make themselves into power. The thing is, people who praise it are always from countries that never experienced. Yeah. Once there's that, and two, there's like there are always like privileged people that feels weird too. Like the people that are really going to understand all the fucking like sensibilities between Marxists and Leninists and Maoists, and me included. I'm like really, you know, I've a luck to be able to have the time and the energy to like give time to that. It's kind of privilege pill. You know what I'm saying? So I feel, and again, like I talk to a lot of communists because sociology and activism, they're great people. Okay, sometimes they're a bit too how do you call it, reactionaries. sometimes they're a bit too reactionaries to like the actors, but yeah, for them it's like all these system Maoist and like Leninist, they just didn't apply the system right because for X reason. But I just find it weird that each time a communist is get power into the system, it always twists into like an authoritative state. It's never able to keep the democratic rule, you know. I'm and again, I'm not going to pretend that Marx didn't have like good criticism about the system, and we need to bring them in mind. I feel sometimes like people are going to be like so prone to the system. Like, come on, you can criticize the system too, you know, it's fine. It's fine to be like nuanced about the economical system. There's no problem with that. It's fine to see sometimes it doesn't work as planned. It's fine. It's fine to like be the country, you know. Yeah, there's a bunch of example of such states and it really never worked. Yeah, but I feel there's still like a richness to the theory of Marx. Engels, sorry. I think the way it was applied was like dog shit, but there's still like a richness over like the original text. When you start having like Leninism and Maoism, that's where it gets fucked up. That's how they kind of twisted, instrumentalized Marx into like a authoritative thing. Which you could say maybe like in the, you know, that's where you need to be critical about these texts, but at the same time you don't want to like throw them out. I feel they're like really still texts that are like really nice to learn about. Sure, they might be a richness, but if you can apply it, then you become yeah, but it's like the same thing about like capitalism. Like I feel like capitalism, like now we live in a system that like does that, but inside of capitalism there's a lot of like exploitation. You know what I'm saying, you could say that it works for us, but there's a lot of countries that for capitalism doesn't work. Like you go for the South and all the countries, Africa, some country in Asia, even inside of our own country, like, you know what I'm saying, there's like you could have like a great critique that even capitalist applied is not that good. So what I'm saying is like you need to be critical about Marxist, but you don't want to like be like the right wing of like socialism is bad or communism is bad. The same way you don't want to like be evil about people that are conservative or like they're religious. I see it that way. Like you don't want to like make those public like not have a part in the dialogues. I feel the same shit for religions or conservatism. There's a place the same way socialism and communism has a place. Like anything like religion or conservatism, it can twist itself into like something else. So I see it that way. So yeah, that's my opinion. Maoism. You see it talking about our communist friends. Yeah, but at least you don't have to wait in line a whole day for a loaf of bread. Yeah, no, that's the thing I'm saying. You need to keep that in mind. Yeah, as much as like, you know, religion were like such domination and like you couldn't have free speech about their religion, they were burning you at stakes. Same shit. Yeah, I completely agree. Don't forget those countries that really twisted, or China, like they had like a big ass like famine. You know. Hortense. I saw Goddard's made some movie about Maoism. Really? I think like Maoists are more like agrarian. You know what we said? They really put like a lot of importance over like the worker, the industrial worker, but also the Maoist is a political military. You see, they embed themselves into military too. Teaching a Chinese revolutionary Maoists that are involving for Marxist Leninism. Oh really? Okay, the Maoist thoughts is not even like from Marx. They're from Marxist Leninism. Leninism, like, okay. So if Lenin decided to embed authoritarian into like Marxist, Mao decided to put even more military over Marxist Leninism. Center the peasantry rather than the industrial worker as the primary revolutionary force advocating for agrarian reforms. Mass movement. You see, agrarian, they're more about like the farmer than the industrial worker. I think this is about like revolution and stuff. No, the thing with the communists is that they really believe about like you need the system to become something else, and the way they get to the revolution, that's where it gets like icky a bit, and that's how it's like for the Marxists themselves. Like I'll be like I said, if you don't get like into like Leninism, technically I think Marx and Engels were saying that capitalism itself is going to change. That like for them, like they wrote that in the 19th century. They were like, no, capitalism itself is going to evolve through itself. You won't need a real revolution because the revolution is going to come inside the system. But that's where I think there's other people that were like, fuck it, I'm reactionary. Let's do a revolutionary, but with arms, with military needs, because like it's not going to happen by itself. And that's I think where there's like some criticism about these people were a bit more radical, right? The reactionaries are like willing to be violent, so be violent. That's good sensibilities, right? if you're willing to be violent towards your own kind, that's good sensibilities to build a system upon. Yeah, like Che Guevara. I don't know about these guys. I'll be honest with you. I'm curious about these guys, but I don't know about these guys. But I guess it is in some sense. I know like it's a bit different there, like when I was living in South America and Cuba, because they were so close to the US that they had like this imperial force they had to deal with, that maybe like the USSR or China didn't have the same sensibilities, the same context. So I don't know where Che Guevara like placed itself into like these ideologies. You know what? I'm curious. Che Guevara. I want I want to see like where is Guevarism. Where does he place himself? Oh, do you see major Marxist-Leninist? He took Marxism. He took the military, revolution approach of like violence. He's a Marxist-Leninist. I didn't know that. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Marx is kind of like a softie. He was a bit like a revolution guy, but he's not like a Leninist. That's like, I'm going to kill the bourgeois, because the system is not going to change by itself. And Maoist, same. Maoist, okay, they all evolved from Marxist-Leninist. I see. I didn't know that. That's interesting. Okay. Good to know. I didn't know. Good to know. Internationalism. I'm gonna just call it like the sensibilities over like international like trade and shit. What's the difference between internationalism and globalism? I don't know. Internationalism. It's a political social principle advocating for greater economic, political, and cultural cooperation among nations. So it's basically globalism. It's really close to globalism, but like no, you see, there's like you can twist international with globalism, Eric. While often used interchangeably, globalism generally refers to a worldwide integration of free market, where international emphasis to cooperation between distinct sovereign nations. Okay, I see. Same shit. Yeah, it's probably the same. I think like globalism is a bit more free market oriented, while internationalism is a bit more of like, let's just cooperate, and more of a like community structure, like the United Nations. Globalism is a bit more capitalist. They're free markets. So I guess there's a little difference there. Again, I feel like when you're going to like look up political social system, you always have to think about like the economy. It's always like embedded into like how the economy is going to like interact with people. Yeah, globalism is a bit more focused on the economy probably. Yeah, that's why they seem to say it. Fundamentalism. What the fuck is fundamentalism? Fundamentalism. Is a religious or illegal tendency characterized by a strict literal interpretation of sacred text or corridor. Oh, okay. It's like, okay. I see. It's like how you're going to interpret text. Fundamentalism is like Christians. You're going to read the Bible as it is literally written. Which, how can you say it's like a political tendencies? I feel that's just a methodology of like, it's a methodology. They put it as a science thing, but I feel it's just a methodology. You know, there's like the methodology of science that's like try to, you know, what would you call it, like critical thinking, empiricism. And you have fundamentalism. It's just like you're going to interpret your text as it's written. They twist it as like a political system, but like I don't really like that idea. I guess you could say like, yeah, you could say that like, oh, fundamentalism is a reaction over like the new methodology, but I feel I see it as a methodology. Islam basically depends. Again, you don't want to like overgeneralize. There's Islam we hear like you know, ISIS and stuff like that. Probably they're radical. They're you know, but like I feel like most Muslim are not going to be a Muslim. Oh fuck, is Muslim? Are Muslim Islam? I don't think they're going to all approach the text that way. Same for the Christian. That's why I'm saying like religion as its place into the dialogue. It's just like some fanatic are going to be like fundamentalism, and that's the severity. That's where it gets a bit fucked up. That's where, because it says you can have slaves and that men's are better than women, you need to take it. Yeah, but they're a country on it. They base their country on it. Yeah, but like it's not Islam the problem. The problem is fundamentalism Islam. You know what I'm saying? Very strict way. Yeah, but again, it's not like all Muslims are like that. The problem is fundamentalist that takes the text how it's written, and they have no critical like distance between them, and they got into power because like this place is also like so fucked. So it's like radical ideology are going to be like what's going to emerge. You know what I'm saying? It's like we go back to like Catholics. I feel like because we are such a lucky spot in the world, we have like a lot of stuff. Our take upon religion is a bit more critical. You know, you can take the text, but you need to be like distant. And I'm not sure how really like in the Vatican they read the text, but we don't have. We're really critical about fundamentalism. You know, same thing. Again, don't overgeneralize the Muslim. It's a great religion. It's just like there's going to be like people are going to like take the text as it is, when it's not. I think you don't want to generalize the religion for it. Yeah. And I'm trying to think if there's like other stuff that could be like fundamental. I guess you could like have a science-based fundamentalism. Take science as it is, even if it's a bit more ish. Well, I think all of those Muslim countries are fundamentalist, where Christians, for example, have other factors involved in the country. I think we're just lucky that the Christian dogmas evolve into a context where you didn't have the need for fundamentalism. Where in these countries it was like so unstable, the political system that emerged out of these countries kind of needed like fundamentalism to like stay stable. You know, it's like these fundamentalism is like it's kind of radical. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think like most Muslim from, you know, I'm not talking about normal people. I'm talking about people in power. Yeah. I'm saying the people in power there are fundamentalism. Yeah, they are. Yeah. They really twisted Islam into like the way that's like can be like instrumentalized. You know what I'm saying? Like ISIS. Or I guess I don't know like the dynamics between like Israel and like Palestine, but like I feel there's like probably a thing there too. I cannot like talk more about that. That's a war I'm like trying to understand, but like I'm far from it. Again, you don't want like your Muslim friend to be like associated with these people. Your Muslim friend is like so far away from that. Like I feel like the government tries to make like this thing more scary than what it is. Oh yeah, definitely Israel is a perfect example. Okay. I'll believe you. I'll believe you there. So that's the thing. You don't want to like think every Muslim is like a fundamentalist. you know. And we have like so many time in history where capitalism, whereas like we're fundamentalists too. We got out of it because we were like kind of lucky to have like enough richness for everyone, but you know, fundamentalism, just a way of reading text, theology probably, you know. Neoliberalism is like basically the thing I was talking to you the other time, is that capitalism kind of evolved into like a way now it's financiary, like you invest and stuff to like get stuff, just like more deregulation, more privatization. It's like basically the continuation. Reduce public spending. Yeah, it's just like less state. With like Thatcher and Reagan. It's just more of these like ideas of like the bourgeois class. They're kind of, neoliberalism is like capitalism, just more. We keep going at it, but now we're like deeper into it. Late stage capitalism, that's what they're talking about. Is that capitalism existed in a world where for a while there were the big states. There was a state, especially like until the 80s. When the 80s, it kind of kicked back, and that was like even more deregulation, more privatization, more free trade. Fiscal austerity, cutting government spending on public services and welfare, reduce national debt and taxes. Yeah, that idea too. In Canada, in Quebec, there's a big thing like in the US too, because you cut down all the institutions, the public institutions, and you give the money elsewhere. Because there's the idea of like I mean, that's what Reagan was talking about, like trickle down economics. They believe in that thing. In practice, it doesn't work at all. in practice, it doesn't work, but it's basically this idea. Keynesians. Oh my god, I was talking to an economist at school. Dude, economies is actually really nice. There's like a lot of like cool ideology inside of economy too. Oh yeah, definitely it's a perfect example. You see trickle down economics. For them, it's like if you're going to like get less public spending and we get more deregulation, technically it's supposed to be that way. But in practice, it kind of just does that. It's just they have like more of a pool to get more, keep the money in the clouds. It never rains. It never rains. It never rains. The clouds like they get bigger. The clouds get bigger, and they never rains. They never rain down. And where it rains, it doesn't rain much. So that's why in the 80s they were believing in that stuff, but in practice now all the capital is up there, and because like today money is power, they kind of just have free fun now. They have free fun, and now even the state itself doesn't really do much. So we cannot like really do something there. That's most of the problem in today's society, I think. And maybe I'm biased. I'm actually biased, but I really feel it's that. It's like all the money is like in the clouds, but the clouds are not raining. The clouds are not raining, and now the thing that was supposed to at least like bring back some clouds to have fog is not able to do it. That's how I see it. But for them, it's supposed to work. For them, it's like, no, and probably the people that are there, they think it works. Because in some sense, there is some stuff, but like, it's not raining enough, dude. It's not enough. There's too much clouds. Give me some sun. Make it rain. And that's why there's like a big push over like taxing the rich, because you want like taxing the rich is one of the ways you can at least like get back to the clouds. Neoconservatism. Okay, that's a new one. Neoconservatism. That's crazy. Let's see. Neoconservatism. Taxing the rich doesn't make sense at all. Also, I want to hear your point. What makes you think it doesn't work? I heard a lot of people, they're saying, well, the rich people are going to leave. And that's the problem. Imagine if like you are so stuck over like you need to like, you know, it's just like, what's the alternative too? Like I don't see the alternative. Like okay, sure, let's not tax the rich. What's the alternative here? More deregulation. That's the thing that becomes really part two about dialogue. It's like I have difficulty explaining it. I'm curious. Let's see. While you're doing that, I'm trying to think. I explained to you like the trickling down economics, but even then, I feel like I don't really know how to put that in practice. Like, how can I explain? I don't have stats. I wish I had something to show. Like, no, look, it doesn't rain. Look at the history. It doesn't rain. The money keeps on top. It doesn't rain down. Like, I guess you could show like workers' salaries. You could like look at products. The products get like more expensive. The power, it doesn't like go down. If it worked, if the regulation of the 80s worked, today we should be able to have like more stuff. There would have been like an era of like more economical like progress. You see what I'm saying? But after the 80s, it didn't do it. It didn't does that. We kind of seen the reverse after like these implementation. Listen, if you tax them, they can move their money out of the country. Also, if you tax their companies, they will raise their price. So in the end, the poor they will raise the price. Okay, first thing first, there's a lot of like ways you can deal with that. First thing first, when you're taxing companies or rich people or whatever, you go it like slowly, because moving out of a country, that costs a lot of money, and that's where the government can like try to make like the tax or like better for the company to stay than to leave. Leaving a whole industry out of a country costs a lot of money, right? So you want to like play on that front, so you need to be like gradual. After that, I feel that's where also like as a citizen of a country, you have the right, not that you have the right, but you know those people are kind of like not doing their job as a citizen. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to leave because you don't want to pay tax, you're kind of like not being, you're coming to my country, work or stuff, and you want us to play with your rules. I feel like in a sense, you're inviting a bunch of like people that don't even want to play the rules of your own country. You know what I'm saying? There's like this aspect of like, you're a tourist from our country and you don't even want to play from our rules. You're willing to leave us like that. I feel there's a certain like responsibility over like the CEOs and like stuff like that to respect also like, you believe you should, hopefully you believe in democratic values, so play by the rules, be a good citizen, believe in the democratic system, and that's part of it. There's going to be like some of your industries that are going to be in countries that they live in a democracy, they want more tax, just respect that. I think it's part of like just being a citizen into a democracy. There's that thing too. That's like, if you're going to leave, that's like a hassle move. You know what I'm saying? That's like a hassle. You're a CEO, just... Anyways. It's like, that's why I feel like it's kind of funny. I keep saying like CEOs are like the guy for NVIDIA and some guy in Japan that were like, no, I'm going to pay my taxes. I know it's a lot of money, but I'm going to pay that because I'm a citizen. And I was like, you know what? Respect where respect is due. I know there's like a bunch of like stuff you could, it's not enough and blah, 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 but say you tax Microsoft, what's the outcome? You gotta be, yeah. Imagine that's a problem. The people in Microsoft, they don't have morals. You don't want companies like that. And again, that's, like I said, you want to be gradual. You want to tax these things where it's going to cost too much for the company to leave, because there's a cost to leaving. And there's other like stuff you can like, without taxing, you can like restrict. There's other ways. I think tax is like a bit too direct, but there's indirect way probably to like make sure at least the money go down. Like if it's not taxing, make sure like your salary is like high enough. At least make sure like your workers have the benefits of like having a good job. You know what I'm saying? So taxing comes from that, but like I feel there's other ways maybe to be indirectly like deal with the money. But yeah, I feel it's also one of the problems. Like if you cannot deal with your industries and the industries has more power than like your political system, there's a problem there too. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're saying like Microsoft has more power than the people we want to elect in their political systems. Like democracy should be more powerful than the industry inside of the democracy. But right now it's like there's this problem of like the companies have more power than the democracy itself, which is like it's another communist idea that in theory looks great and I agree, but in practice it makes everyone poorer. Even New York mayor recently taxed some people and it worked out. No, it worked out. That's the thing, right? It kind of worked out. I feel like with Mondani, like it's a good like it's a good thing. You see it like working well. No, it didn't work there. I feel it's the reverse. He succeeded to like make a bunch of like institutions. He succeeded to have like no deficit. Didn't work. Yeah, it worked. I mean, it didn't work. It didn't get like poorer. I feel like with New York, like the spending is like there's no deficit. He succeeded to make a bunch of things there. Like I that's the thing too. Is like it didn't work, but like I want like maybe I'm not into like deep enough into like the journalist to find where it didn't work, but you know. Explain to me how it will benefit the poor. That's the thing. That's like it becomes so complicated because its system is so complicated. But it's basically look in today's world, money is how you move things. Okay, money is the thing that makes development be a thing. Okay, but the thing is that companies they work upon a certain frame. Okay. That frame is like to make the most amount of money possible, right? But the problem being is that through that dynamics, you don't have the outcomes for the citizen as expected. We go back to like trickling economics. The companies believe in trickling down economics, but at the end, what happens is that it kind of just it just kind of does that. You know, in practice, the idea is like, if trickling down economics work, if we're able to actually have free markets that are going to work fine and deregulation is the way to go, you should be able to see that stuff happening. You should be able to see that because company works well, everyone involved has a better outcome. But what happens, they say it, is like that. No, the money just stays on top. The inequality just grow bigger. People that are poor or don't have more advantage. But that's because the US is the richest country on earth because they don't tax the rich. So all the companies stays in their country and make money. Yeah, and after that, they come into your country and your country has difficulties like dealing with these Microsoft guys. You know what I'm saying? And because like these big companies need so much money, they go into like Algeria and some, not Algeria, but they go in Africa, they go in the Middle East, and they don't have regulation there, so they can just make like the country even worse. Then there are people that don't want to live there, they want to like go into other countries. Like now you deal with immigration. In my opinion, it's like you're a product of like just managing money so badly. You know, there's just consequences over like how the money is managed. That just doesn't really work into like the global world we have. But it's so complex, like I said. It's like I brain up like immigration, but and so that's why the money you want the people to have the money to be able to like make right choices, okay? And everyone has their own rationalities over how the money it should be spent, and that's what politics is, to be fair. But that's why you don't want like clouds to be like just like a bunch of people have money are not into the system. Like people that have money right now, they're companies. Companies are not countries. Companies are like outside. They have power outside of. They have other sensibilities over like how they're going to spend the money. Where I feel like we're supposed to live in a democracy where the budgets should be like directed towards that democracy. You know, where all the money now just like feeds companies. it feeds itself. It feeds the company. It doesn't actually go into like stuff that doesn't make money, but that's quality of like life. Like being able to have a nice house, being able to have groceries, being able to have transportation. Let's be rich people know how to avoid taxes. It's yeah, and I think that's one of the big problems. They have so much power to do that shit. Yeah, no, of course. I mean, the thing you say, it's still real. It's still real. It's, you're going to like tax them. They're going to leave. It's a reality still. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be like, oh no, it's not real if you tax it. No, there's like impacts to that too. Like our milking the cow is like you need the cow to be there. Ain't that the thing that happened with like Che Guevara too? Like fucking like he tried the revolution and all the rich people kind of left. He was fucked after that. You know, you need the cow to milk. But they don't want to let us milk them. Those CEOs. Just let us suck the out of them. But they don't want us. They're not gay enough or some shit. Oh my God. CEOs, dude. You know, give us some wine. Please, we need to beg them. You see how we should have to beg them. What the fuck is that? Anyways, that was interesting. I enjoy hearing you, Nick. I enjoyed that. So what's neoconservatism? I think it's in the US. It's like one of the names they call the US conservatism. It inspired probably a lot of other movements. It's a united political movement that advocates for a strong military and legislative promotion of democracy abroad, and an interventionist foreign policy that project American values sometimes through primitive military actions. Okay, it's like Trump's going out saying it's for democracy, but like not actually giving any. You know, it's a definition of democracy that's like kind of corporatism pilled. So. Not much to say. It's like populism and more military, more saying it's democracy, but it's not really democracy of our other country. Oh yeah, boring, boring. More military. Yeah, that's not really free market of them, right? Having to have like big military, that's not really free market. Democratic socialism. Okay, now we're getting more into like democracy, but the economical system is socialism. That's it. Not much to say. It's like the economical system is socialism. Socialism being just like more state that's able to like tackle money, you know? Social democracy. What is a social democracy, dude? And I've been streaming for 4 hours. Social democracy is a center-left political and economic ideology that supports political democracy alongside a predominantly capitalist economy. Okay, it's basically what we have right now. It advocates for reducing economic inequality through government intervention, progressive taxation, market regulation, and provision of extensive social welfare. That's what we kind of had. We were trying to achieve. But I feel like if your government cannot intervene, you cannot really have intervention. Like I feel like the government intervention is kind of weak. Some people are going to say that. I actually think this worked quite well. It's like Norway, Sweden, Denmark. Yeah, it works quite well. But I heard a criticism that I really enjoy is that it works quite well, but because the country is able to be rich because of like their history, they were able to have enough. I mean, the previous one. I don't think they're socialist at all. They're social democracy. I think like Sweden and stuff are social democracy. They're not democratic socialism. I don't think that there was ever a country that was like actually socialism. They're still capitalist countries like Sweden and they're still a capitalist. They're just like they just made sure that the government is able to like tackle the money. That's why they have like a public oil sector because that's how they get some money. You know, they make sure they have like enough like just power into the government so the democracy is able to like govern itself. Oh yeah, my bad. It's not the same. But the thing that I heard is like, yeah, those countries work really well, but all the money got from other countries. You know, it's like we go back to capitalism. We kind of took cheap minerals from Africa and from other countries to bring them into the countries, and that's how you can have a rich country that, you know, It's like, yeah, it works from itself, but like if you take Sweden in an international lens, they're kind of working because Africa is like kind of poor. You know what I'm saying? So I feel sometimes we don't think enough about the interdependence between countries. It's like, yeah, they're going great, but at the same time, it's because we're getting cheap stuff out of Africa. You know what I'm saying? So there's that element too. That I think it's important. I think we need to think about our brothers and sisters from other countries. You know, which is really hard because I think like for so long we were able to have like isolationism, and now like with internet, like globalism and their internationalism, it shapes a bit more about like how we see ourselves. We're not there yet, but slowly but surely. Okay, I think I'm going to stop with this here because there was a lot of things. If it was really easy to go through, now we can have like a good discussion for everything. So I'm gonna stop at that level here. So what time? I've been like streaming for 4 hours, dude. So I don't know what to do now. I'm not sure. I need to clean. My mom is asking me to clean basement. Cringe, mom. Cringe. I'm gonna stop here. So have a good day, dude. I don't think I'm going to stream tonight, but I'll probably tomorrow. Take care. Have fun. Pathetic, mom. Let me live in the filth. I don't see a problem there. Okay, goodbye.